Suplex Studies.
Hello, and welcome back to Suplex Studies. This is episode 14. My name is Eric, joined again here by Red Shoes Gator.
Heyo!
And we also have back the encyclopedia of Suplex Studies himself. It is Isaiah, Mr. Wrasslin Junts. Welcome back, sir.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Good to have you back.
Yes, Mike Tenay was the professor. We have the encyclopedia.
That's right. In the flesh, we are going to be covering an all-time classic from New Japan Pro Wrestling later on after our corrections and follow-up section. And we are very excited to do so. But before we get all into that, how are you guys doing? Gator, what's going on, man?
I'm doing terrible right now.
What? Why?
You already know.
I do know why.
You know what's going on right now.
Gator's getting his ass whipped in 5 fantasy leagues right now.
Rub it in. And the worst part about it is that I had to be losing to my little brother this week.
I know. With what? How many points on your bench? 80?
80. I managed to bench Devontae Adams, Devon A-Chain, and Brock Bowers this week for a big old 80 points on the bench, and I'm losing. I'm winning by 3.
Well, goddamn, pal. Sucks to suck, Gator. You're goddamn right it does, Gator. What the hell is your problem? What were you thinking, benching Brock Bowers?
Hey, how are you supposed to know he's going to go off that crazy, you know?
It's the ebbs and the flows. You never know what's going to happen. Fantasy football, she's a cruel bitch.
Yeah.
I'm going through every stage right now of denial, acceptance, bargaining. I'm going through them all right now, just trying to fucking pray to God that I get a win here. But it's looking pretty dire right now. We still have till the end of the night, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We'll see, man.
But right now, motherfucker on edge this week.
Isaiah, what's going on, man? What's new in your world?
Not much. I just got done with a 2-day loop.
Ew.
The TNA shows here in San Antonio, like we discussed last time. So
Yeah.
had a ball. Victory Road night 1. We did some TNA tapings night 2. Interesting developments, but
yes, apparently so.
What is your Isaiah's review on the show exactly? What did you think of the shows?
So the first night, highlighted by Moose and Nemeth in the main event, TNA World Title. It was a pleasantly, surprisingly good match. I don't know. Sometimes with Moose, I'm a little hit or miss with him.
Yeah, I feel
But Nemeth got a good match out of him. I was front row, right behind the timekeepers area.
So look out for him.
They did a big power bomb spot right in front of me where that table was. So
This was at Victory Road Friday night,
Victory
right?
Road Friday night, yeah. So and then another big matchup: Joe Hendry, Josh Alexander.
I believe in Joe Burrow.
We didn't cue the music up, baby.
Listen, Joe Hendry. Probably one of the most over guys in wrestling right now. He was the draw for that 2-day weekend. Him and the Hardys, I would say,
Of
are
course.
probably
Oh,
the biggest.
Hardys for sure.
The Hardys sell everywhere they go.
Lifelong Hardys fan myself. Was always good to see the Hardys in action. Got to dap them up when they do the little
No
ringside.
You got the dap up?
Yeah, I got the little dap up. So
The Hardy dap.
Peanut butter and jelly right now.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Man.
definitely a weekend to remember for myself. Lifelong TNA fan. Kind of phased out whenever the Impact thing was going on,
Impact
but
Zone.
they're getting back to their roots, and it's good to see.
Global Force Wrestling.
Dude,
We don't talk about Global Force.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that 2-pack Hardys to release. I'm hoping in the near future, if they do come back into San Antonio or the surrounding areas, possibly getting that signed by both Hardys.
Oh,
and having
yeah.
a very, very nice collector's piece right there. That would be beautiful.
That'd be nice, man.
Oh, I can't wait. You've already got Broken Matt's signature, I believe, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, Brother Hero has Brother Matt, Broken Brother Matt's autograph.
Yeah, I've procured that signature.
Oh, and your expedition of autographs.
That's right.
That's right. You've gotten a few autographs thus far.
Yes, not in person yet, but I acquired a few
Now,
from some other collectors. Yeah,
we also have next month, I believe, a Comic-Con.
it's Sting.
Yes, and that is right. Sting will be adorning us with his magnificent presence and Brother Eric and I will be trying to procure his signature at that event.
I hope I get it. Isaiah, so you gonna go meet Sting?
I'm not much of a convention guy.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah,
I'm not either.
They blow.
I know it's a very, very popular thing. It's a big hullabaloo about it, but you got to pay to walk in the building
That's
and
the
then pay
problem.
for the signature.
Right.
Yes.
Sometimes they're a little iffy about what you can get signed, what you can't get signed.
And if you can even get a signature, given the amount of
Yeah,
time
it's
that
not guaranteed.
the athlete is there signing for.
Yeah, so you got to get there early. It's a big hodgepodge of things that I'd rather do without. I'm more of a convenience guy, so even like the TNA shows, like I wanted to meet the Hardys, but it was $150 for both of them.
Holy shit!
For an
$150.
auto and
And photo with both of
so
them.
combo.
So the
150.
combo was $75 each, basically.
Which is
$150
understandable.
for the two-way.
I get it. I just got a baby on the way type shit.
Yeah,
yeah.
So don't know if I got $150 to just shell out willy nilly.
What was Nemeth
His
charging?
combo was 80 at
$80.
at Boomtown.
So wow, he was actually more than
A
one
photo,
of the Hardys.
a photo op was 50, I believe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you wanted to just get a photo, it was like $50.
I think Nemeth
Mhm.
was 50-50 or 80 combo.
it was the
something
same.
like that.
Same with Joe Hendry.
They had Nemeth, Laredo Kid, and Moose right down the street here at Boomtown Sports Cards. Shout out to Boomtown Sports Cards.
They're
We
cool.
do love you.
They
We
just
love
had
you
Wemby
guys.
over there yesterday, I believe.
No
shit.
way.
Yeah, he was
In
sign-
store?
He was repping packs.
John Navia got him down there. Are you serious,
pretty
John?
sure, yeah.
How the F did you do that, John?
Wow.
Wembenyama.
Wow.
Did he get anything cool? Did you hear?
I don't know. I just saw photos and videos of him at the shop.
Damn.
That is that's fucking holy spinolis right there, because he advertised for Nick and the TNA guys. I saw nothing for Wemby.
I think it was kind of
amazing.
like a surprise.
spur of the moment, if you will.
Yeah.
Spur of the moment.
We got it.
One more time.
Spur
of the moment.
of the moment. Okay.
Ayo.
All right, guys. Well, if that's all y'all got update wise, I
You
don't
know
have
what?
much for you.
I got one more update for
What's
you,
that,
Eric,
brother Steve?
and that is that I've had about 5 Stone Cold
What?
IPAs.
What?
I'm feeling a little frosty right now.
What?
I'm feeling a little buzzy right now.
Oh, yeah?
I'm feeling like this episode of Suplex Studies is going to be the goddamn greatest one ever. What do you think, Isaiah?
Oh, hell yeah.
Can I get a hell yeah, brother Eric?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
goddamn, kid.
God damn, Eric. Well, what do we got on the slate
All
for
right.
these sons of bitches today?
We got a few corrections and follow up here. Let's get right into it. So, one thing I missed last week, Samoa Joe had called out not one Kenny Omega but two Will Ospreay. I couldn't figure out who else Samoa Joe was saying he hadn't been in the ring with yet, and it was Will Ospreay there. That's all. I couldn't jog that memory. So, would y'all like to see Samoa Joe in the ring with Will Ospreay?
It's an interesting question to pose because Joe is not in the prime of his career. He's still doing great work. You know, his world title run was really well done in the short time that he had it. I think Ospreay can do no wrong at this point as far as match-wise. Probably get a good match out of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, I think Joe and Ospreay would deliver in a big way. Big TV match, maybe. I don't know if he would do that pay-per-view.
If you did,
I think that's a pay-per-view match for sure, yeah.
if you did do it in a pay-per-view match, it would probably have to be for that title.
They probably would have already had to do a TV match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe.
really, like Isaiah said, Joe, he's in the twilight of his career. He can't go as quickly as other competitors can right now. I do think that they would have a great match, but I would have to side with Ospreay in that one.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I think more so what the question is the story.
The story.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you put something like that together?
I don't think it's that hard. I mean, Samoa Joe is a ruthless son of a bitch, and if Ospreay is at the top of the food chain, I think Joe might want. I mean, he is a babyface at the moment.
He's a like an Austin, if you will.
He can go in and out.
He can
Pause.
go in and out. Yeah.
Who, Joe?
Joe. He can
Oh,
be
yeah,
a
yeah,
heel.
yeah.
He can be a face, and it doesn't matter what happens. Everyone's still gonna love him no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of, I don't know. Would I like to see it? Probably. I don't know how the storyline would go, though. Do they have history?
No, I mean, they kind of
Not that I know of.
didn't cross paths for a long time, and now they're in the same place. I think Joe kind of was in and out of TNA Ring of Honor for a little while, and then when he left TNA, signed with the WWE. Actually, no, he had a short run with Ring of Honor for a little bit, and then signed with WWE. So he was there for 7 years, maybe, good chunk of time. Got let go, rehired, let go again.
Let go again, rehired. Let go again.
Then now he's been in AEW. So it's a lot of talent that Joe can work with. That I think would be well done. I think of his matches with Ricochet in WWE.
Rick shits.
I think it would deliver for sure. I think that Will Ospreay probably has a great case for Wrestler of the Year right now. And so if he's
on his way, yeah.
If he's in there with someone like Joe, I think it'll work out.
Does anybody know who got number 1 in the Wrestling Observer?
You talking about the PWI?
Yes.
I believe it was Cody.
Cody.
Oh,
So
okay.
Swerve was number 2 and Cody was number 1 this year.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's an
Could
interesting
have
dynamic.
swung either way there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Cody. Yeah, Cody
I-
was probably riding more momentum. I think.
I don't know, dude. I would probably put Swerve up over Cody.
Really?
Personally. Just personally. Personal decision. Maybe everybody doesn't like what I'm saying, but if you listen to me, best decisions in the world, everybody knows I make the greatest decisions. I come up with things of my own. I believe them to be true, and they are.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew. Eat it, chew it, get you hard.
So here is what the criteria of the PWI is. This is
there's a criteria.
This is what has
Give it
been
to us.
listed.
Ooh.
Win-loss record.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Championships won.
Okay.
Quality of competition.
Mm-hmm.
Major feuds. Prominence within a wrestler's promotion. So, is he
number 1?
how is he
his
perceived
promotion?
in his promotion?
Right.
An overall wrestling ability.
Hmm.
If you put all of these things together, how is Swerve Strickland not number one?
Not number 1. He is absolutely and totally number 1 in his organization.
As soon as you get to quality of competition,
He's fought everybody that matters.
Okay, look, okay.
Granted, he didn't get Cody. Or
When
granted,
did
he
this
didn't
come
get
out?
Kenny.
This came out September 10th. Okay.
That is only a few
If
days
we're
ago.
thinking about the last calendar year, the quality of competition from Swerve Strickland, the major feud with him and Hangman Page that has lasted this whole entire year.
Him and Joe.
Joe.
Had great matches with Claudio on TV.
Yes, he did.
Great title defenses, title eliminators.
Yeah.
How do you not? I mean, the match with Christian was great.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I think the only thing that he might be taking into account is that perhaps Swerve had 2 major feuds, Hangman and Joe. Cody had 1 major feud that lasted how long?
Well, also he had a little scuffle with The Rock. I consider
s-
those kind of like 2 separate
I
feuds
think
built
it's-
into one.
Right.
It's-
I would agree with that.
Yes,
But it kind of.
but it's a small
merged.
scuffle between the same bloodline, if you will.
Yeah. It was,
So he had a feud with the bloodline, whereas Swerve had a feud with Joe and Hangman.
So, if we also go off of
Yeah.
the prominence of the wrestlers within the promotion, I think that's where Swerve kind of tapers off a little bit from Cody.
Yeah.
Because Swerve, although he was the world champion, you had the big elite storyline going on at the time with Tony Khan, where they punched him, they
Yeah.
did the
Yeah.
they did the,
The
Meltzer,
TK driver.
TK driver,
TK driver.
and that was actually the first week of Swerve's run.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It was at Daly's place.
Yeah. It's
So-
true.
True.
I think a lot of that had probably had to do with Cody getting this number 1 nod here, and I'm not necessarily mad at it. But as far as everything else that we're looking at, as far as win-loss record, all that stuff,
Dude, Cody got beat by The Rock. He took a pin.
Yeah, he's The Rock.
yeah.
I'm
But
just saying, he took a fucking pin. Did
to,
Swerve?
to be fair, Swerve did take some
Yeah,
pins. He
I
lost
think
to
he did.
Moxley in the Continental Classic.
Oh, yeah?
He took some losses, and it's not. I mean,
Was Swerve the champion world champion when he took that loss?
No, but these were in
Not
this
yet.
was in the last calendar
Okay,
year.
in the
and
last
that's,
calendar
that's what
year.
we're
Okay,
kind
okay,
of
we're
looking at here.
we're taking the body of work into
The evaluation period is from August 1st of 23 to July 31st of 24.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's saying right here.
Okay,
So
all
the
right.
the Pro Wrestling Illustrated year
I
is
mean,
an
I-
altered
I-
year. It starts from summer to summer.
I honestly think that what he's taking into account is that I think he's putting more quality into the WWE
If
than
you're
he is
going-
into AEW.
If you're going back that far, I mean, Cody did have a couple wins over Brock Lesnar, which
Last summer?
which were pretty big. I mean, despite how you feel about maybe how the matches went, how they finished, I mean, it's still pretty big wins.
Yeah, it's
not a lot of
Lesnar.
people beat Lesnar.
Well, yeah,
You know?
he
Yeah.
beat a fucking former UFC world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, but once you
Right.
start getting into the later end of the year for Cody Rhodes, it was a lot of Judgment Day. It was a lot of Shinsuke Nakamura.
Speaking of which, where the fuck is he?
Shinsuke?
Where the fuck is
he's hurt.
Shinsuke?
I think he's hurt.
Is he really? Or are they just holding him out?
I believe he's hurt.
How can you get hurt when you're not even wrestling?
Hey, man.
Well, I mean, we're doing live events, dark matches. I know we're cutting down on stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're going from 300 to 250 in a
Something
year,
like
and
that.
from 250 down to 200 in 2 years.
the
in
last
a year.
I heard of him was he was taking like a lot of backstage photos of the wrestlers and kind of just posting them. So he had like a cool photo of AJ in Japan, I think, with the mask and all that. So
They
I
are
think I saw something like that. Yeah.
You know, they are wasting Shinsuke. Can you imagine Shinsuke
he's
under
getting
under the tutelage of Tony Khan?
he's getting up there.
Yeah, he is getting up there.
He's
Could
up in
be-
age.
I don't know if there's a real big spot for him in AEW at this point.
Dude,
you know?
come on. There's
I'd
you
say
can't,
New
you
Japan
can't-
needs it more than
Yeah,
anybody.
New Japan.
It does.
That would
Absolutely.
be
No, he's 100% right,
better.
but you can't tell me that he would not come into AEW and immediately be a
I-
world heavyweight championship contender.
I think he would be a great attraction for AEW. So having him go to New Japan and be having that somewhat loose-ended AEW affiliation where he could come in for a big dream match or
There you
two,
go.
Mm-hmm.
that's where the money is with
A la
Nakamura.
AJ, maybe.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be a good deal.
Not
Trips.
opposed.
Trips. Make it happen, motherfucker.
It's time to play the game. I'm not gonna let Shinsuke go anywhere else. I'm gonna keep him here.
He's captive under the WWE umbrella.
He's
the
fucking
moment?
trapped, bro. He's trapped.
He's having a good time. He's getting paid really well.
I mean, he's getting paid, but I wouldn't say he's having a good time. I mean,
I think
you know what?
that's-
I beg your pardon.
I think that's
I
up to him.
I
really.
beg your
Yeah.
pardon. If you're getting to travel from city to city and not have to work, that's probably a really good time.
He's chilling, man.
Yeah, man. I'd be having a real good time if the PO said, hey, go ahead and go to California and don't deliver any mail. I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Hey, he takes what he gets. But up next, we got a little, let's see here. Oh, we were kind of in a disagreement if Fox was cable or not basic cable.
I think you said it was basic, correct?
Yeah, it's basic cable for the most part, and I guess depending on like the market you're in, but
It's
I
not,
know-
it's not network television.
right, yeah.
Wait,
Wait,
it's not
Fox?
network television?
Isn't basic cable?
So
It's not network television.
actually, you know what? You are right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bugging.
So wait.
I'm thinking about Fox Sports. I'm
Fox
thinking about
Sports, yeah, it's
so
the
you're
extra
saying
shit.
Fox comes in a regular basic cable package.
Right, I think you can just plug right into the fucking wall, and it's like one of, I don't know, 10,
So-
20
You get like
channels.
My
probably.
35.
So
Yeah.
is USA the one that you have to buy cable
Yeah,
for?
yeah,
Okay,
USA, yeah.
there we go. I just kind of assumed that Fox would be the one that you had to pay for.
No.
Okay.
But
All right.
also, I had another little mix-up. I guess NXT is going to the CW, so they're also leaving USA. So that was just another little follow-up.
On the CWB.
But yeah, y'all gonna watch NXT on the CW?
I love chicken.
Definitely gonna check out the first 2 weeks, see
Yeah.
what kind of things they have up their sleeve. I know it's the second week, I believe, is when they're going head to head with good old AEW. They're doing
Oh, yeah?
the AEW's doing a Tuesday.
That's right. During MLB playoff season, I think
I believe so. So
is the occasion.
they're definitely
Yeah.
gonna load it the fuck up.
Yeah.
John Cena,
Punkers.
Punk, everybody and their mother is gonna be at that.
Bret the
NXT.
Hitman Hart.
You think Brett's gonna be there?
Brett's going to be there again. You know, everybody knows that Bill Goldberg screwed me. He ended my career before it should have been ended. Everybody knows Bill Goldberg. He's a son of a bitch.
Hey, you know, Bill Goldberg, he's
Bill Goldberg.
the best of all time,
Bill
Brett.
Goldberg.
But yeah, NXT should be pretty damn good. Just like Isaiah was saying, I'm sure they're gonna bring out all the stops for that debut C-Dub episode.
And I might not subscribe to the show, but what I will say is that from what I've seen from NXT, they are really turning it up right now.
Yeah, by
I
all
like
accounts.
what I see every time I tune in. They predominantly feature their female athletes. So they're working that women's division really well right now, and I think they're really trying to bring it up right now, and I respect that. That's all I'll say about NXT.
Yeah, for sure, man. It seems like their fan base loves what they're seeing. I don't know if they're really growing the fan base too well right now, but I mean, it's kind of hard to do such a thing in this day and age to get new wrestling fans.
I mean, dude, I was on NXT. I tuned out.
yeah,
I'm back in. So they're picking people back up again because they got me.
yeah.
So my thing with the NXT stuff is they've done a good job since the 2.0 reboot that they did
It was awful.
of going to different markets for their PLEs and kind of spreading that around a little bit. Staying in the PC for the weeklies, but when you have the big events, like I went to Great American Bash in Austin when they were over here not too long ago. So it's a good strategy, and I think it's paid off now that they're doing big shows for the first 2 weeks of CW.
Well,
As far as the women talent, I don't know if I'm necessarily sold on a lot of them.
Really?
But I like Kalani Jordan. I like Sol Ruka. Jada Parker's okay.
See, I'm not big on the names in particular, but what I am big on is that the fact that they're bringing in, I was telling Eric this last episode,
Right.
Division I athletes
Yeah.
who are just top of the food chain as far as athleticism goes. They are getting those people in.
But are
right
the
now.
characters cool? You
know what? They have time to develop the characters.
No, for sure.
They're bringing in Eric freaking H, and they're turning him into Braun Breaker.
So the thing is like
Yeah.
at first it's they really got to flesh them out. So like at the TNA shows, sorry about spoilers or whatever.
Bring 'em.
Spoiler alert.
At the TNA tapings, they brought out Carly Bright and someone else from NXT, and I was like, who are these girls?
who? What?
Beautiful
What?
young ladies, don't get me wrong. One of them kind of gave me Charlotte Flair vibes a little bit, as far as like how she was moving in there. Not necessarily the talent, but as far as like her presentation.
And not necessarily the Adam's apple.
Hey, you got it, bro.
What?
You got it. No, you got it, fam.
Hey yo.
But I think the athleticism is definitely on display with the young ladies. That was the one thing that stood out.
Mm-hmm.
I think once they really have fleshed out characters, then I think you're getting onto something. But it's going to take a lot of time because these people are so green.
They are so green, and you're 100% right on that. But for being that green, you are in the absolute best situation and scenario that you could possibly be in, because this engine is going to fuel you and give you everything that you need to be that superstar that they want you to be.
And if you think about someone like Tiffany Stratton, her first experience in this business has been with the WWE, and she's already cultivated a huge fan base. And honestly, it's mostly off of her looks, but she's also very, very talented. I've realized a lot of guys watch women's wrestling with their penises. They don't really like watch the matches per se. So
Yeah, Gator. Is that what's happening?
What?
and so I guess it's because I'm married, so I'm just like I'm not really like
I specifically try not to talk about the attractiveness of the females, because I specifically try and I said it twice. I only try and look at the athleticism. That's it.
Oh yes, the athleticism.
That's it.
You're looking at the assets here.
Athleticism, as I said.
But like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was front row, fourth row at Survivor Series last year, and I got to see Rhea Ripley up close, and I definitely took a gander. But like, the match wasn't necessarily anything to write home about. So what else am I gonna?
Well, was it a boy or a girl?
Brother.
I'm just wondering.
We'll leave that to the imagination. But what I'm getting at here is that
Think about it.
looking at it through a lens of just looking at it strictly through the prowess, the in-ring work, it's definitely a work in progress. But I feel like what they have with the NXT advantage is that the PC, they're literally going to cheer for everything. It's like a paid audience.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody's getting in there for free. They don't sell tickets to get in there. You just got to line up at the door.
Are you serious?
No bullshit. They don't sell tickets. They don't sell tickets to get in there. So literally, these people go to these shows every single week. So they have been there and they are invested and they want to be on TV. Obviously.
So you're telling me that big old dude with the glasses, he's getting in there for free every time?
You are correct.
Oh my God! I need to move to Florida. I have
Watch
to
all
move
the
to Florida.
NXT you
just,
want, bro.
Just NXT for free every fucking week. Wow.
All right, let's see.
That's pretty interesting, man. I wish I could be down there.
That kind of wraps up my corrections and follow-up here. All this other stuff I have isn't really relevant anymore, I'd say.
You gonna wrap that shit up, E?
Yeah, we're basically done here.
Wrap it up.
Up next, we will be moving on to our feature matchup of the week. Each and every week here at Suplex Studies, we go back into the history books of wrestling, grab a match, just has to be a year old, bring it forward. We may have seen it, may have not seen it. Could be a favorite of ours or a guest's here. In this instance, Isaiah's brought us a match from 2018, March 25th, to be precise.
Ooh.
From Long Beach, California, at the Walter Pyramid. It is New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Style Evolved.
Strong Style.
A awesome tag match between the Young Bucks and the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. Ibushi Kota. What an awesome match this was. We have 4,300 in attendance just about. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to Isaiah's here, who brought this match in for us. What's the significance here, Isaiah?
So basically, the reason I brought this up to you guys was, one, it's a great match, amazing match, and I was in attendance to see this match live. Love traveling for wrestling.
LBC.
Love Long Beach. I had family in Long Beach, so it was kind of a no-brainer, right? The significance of this match in particular was the reuniting of Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega.
Was this their first match back together?
Correct.
Okay. So, wow, I didn't put two and two
Actually, no.
together.
I believe they did have a tag match at it was like the Ring of Honor New Japan show at Korakuen Hall. I
Just
believe.
like right before this?
Yeah, so they might have had a couple matches before
right.
that, but this was like their first big time tag team matchup. So
Huge.
it was a really big deal when they reunited after Cody, hit him with that Crossroads at New Beginning earlier in the year. So
yeah,
it's an emotional moment. I remember watching that live. My wife was ecstatic. She loves Kenny Omega. She loves Kota Ibushi, and she's kind of into like the shipping. I don't know if you heard that term.
Shipping.
So
no, please elaborate.
So it's kind of like a weird stan culture thing on like Twitter, internet type deal, where basically like, let's say you really want to see Charlotte Flair and AJ Styles be together in a relationship.
Oh,
that's kind of like you're shipping them. So,
okay,
but Kenny and Kota have always kind of had these like underlying, sexual tension a little bit. Like there's that one time where they kissed and all that stuff. So like, and they always threw stuff out there. Like at least Kenny, he kind of threw stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
That he didn't necessarily deny it, but he didn't confirm it either.
I must have missed that one.
So it's my wife. That's kind of like my wife. Like she's like
my wife.
Into that. So
into the kind of like homosexual storyline, maybe
a little. Well, not a storyline, but she was she's attracted to both of them, and
to
she
the
was
love story.
She was to the love story. Exactly.
That's what it is.
And it's a long-term story. I mean, they've been together since what? Mid 2000s, basically.
Damn, really?
They were together
far back?
Yeah, they competed against each other in like what 2008, and maybe they tagged sometime after that in DDT. If you guys never seen that DDT match between Kenny and Kota, definitely check that out.
No, that one is in my list, actually. I've never seen it, and I think that might be the only time, or one of the few times someone kicked out of the One-Winged Angel, apparently.
Yes, sir.
That's on that one, right?
Damn, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Ibushi Kota.
So it was just a really big moment for them to come back together after all that time of not really being together. Kenny was doing his thing in Bullet Club with the Elite and all that stuff, and they kind of hinted at it whenever Ibushi challenged AJ for the IWGP Championship. Ibushi kind of was going up top for the Phoenix Splash on AJ, and Kenny is in Bullet Club.
That's right. I've seen this.
Kenny gets on the apron and kind of tries to stop him, but he doesn't necessarily commit to like putting his hands on him. He's kind of hesitant as well, and Ibushi kind of just shakes his head, and he ends up costing him against AJ. But it's like a really long-term story. So whenever they hug in that moment, it's a big reaction in the crowd all over the world, really. So
you're talking about when Kenny makes or when Ibushi makes a save?
When Ibushi makes the save, yeah. And that's why, and Don Callis in the commentary is like, they've been waiting for this for years.
Yeah.
And that was definitely the case. So whenever the Young Bucks and Ibushi, or Young Bucks and Golden Lovers kind of face off here, it's a big-time matchup because the Young Bucks are going up to heavyweight. They're trying to rise their stock as a tag team in New Japan as well. So it's a collision course.
I noticed that. They were saying that they're going up into the heavyweight tag team division. Is there different divisions in the tag team in New Japan?
Well, in New Japan, there's a heavy, even the singles, there's a singles, like it's all the same way with the singles. So they do IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, IWGP Light Heavyweight or Junior Heavyweight Championship. And that's like that's like their cruiserweight title.
And they have that for the tag division as well.
So they have a heavyweight tag titles and they have the junior heavyweight tag titles.
What is does anybody know what the weight limits are on this?
I don't.
It's kind of loose ended.
Yeah. If you're just kind of smaller, you're like a junior.
Yeah, we're going to have to go to the corrections next week for that one and find out what the weight limitations
Probably under 200
are.
pounds or something.
Oh, I mean, dude, Nick and Matt combined weigh less than 400.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, shit. One of them's
185 on a good day?
No, dude, 185 on a good day. I'm saying 165 on a good day and 175.
So at this point in time, Nick and Matt are 7-time IWGP Junior Tag Team champions.
You have to say it 7 times like Booker T now.
I think that's a lot of time to take up. But you get the picture. You get the picture. They're 7-time IWGP Tag Champions. There's not really much you can do with them in this division anymore.
Yeah, they've done it all at that point.
It was only logical for them to go up into the heavyweights. And they also put in the effort to put work into their bodies. Like, you can tell in this match, Matt, at least Matt in particular. Nick was, Nick.
Dude, Nick's always been shit, but Matt definitely got big.
You can tell, like, Matt had more muscle definition in his chest, his shoulders. Like, he put a lot of effort into presenting that as a big heavyweight, wrestler.
Yes, he had a chest. His shoulders were nice. Everything about him. I mean, he looked like a big-ass fucking wrestler to me.
Matt Jackson?
Matt.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you didn't see Matt in that match?
Yeah, I did.
Matt was big.
I mean, he was.
I wouldn't say he was big.
Okay.
He looked noticeably bigger.
Better than he looks now.
I beggeth your pardon. Yeah. He's bigger than he is now.
There you go. Yeah.
Because right now he's giving Adam Cole competition on smallest wrestler in the business.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you on that.
No. Leo Rush looked at fucking Adam Cole and Matt Jackson was like, I'm bigger.
Dude, Leo Rush is pretty ripped.
He's ripped, but he's not big.
I don't know. He's got a good amount of mass for his frame.
Bro, if I outweigh that motherfucker.
Well, of course you do.
That's all I'm saying. He's not big.
He's big for his size, is what I'm trying to say, dude.
So he's big for fucking 4'6".
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, okay.
He has a lot of muscle definition.
That's nothing to take pride in.
Bro, you're just always hate on the smaller guys, bro.
I'm 4'6" and I weigh 145 pounds, but I'm a badass.
They're just fucked with genetics, and Gator's like, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Any and all small dudes.
You're 4'6" and you weigh 145 pounds. Kiss my ass.
Hey, man, he's doing it in the big time right now.
How many matches has he won?
It doesn't really matter. He was a great big feature.
You The Rock now? It doesn't matter? How many matches has he won?
I don't know, at least 1 or 2.
1.
Dude, come on, man.
You got to watch Ring of Honor for the wins.
Dude, but that's why. Like,
I'm not. It is what it is.
I gotta scroll down to the below to see him win.
I just don't.
You know
you
my
are
stance.
the way you are.
You know my stance
guys.
on guys like Leo Rush, Dynamite Kid. Just nah.
No, I get it. It's just hilarious to hear your mind work
all
that way.
There's all out. I'm all out on them.
Right. Well, hey,
Yep.
That's totally fine.
So is Conan. He said some people need to put on weight too, and I'm on Conan's fucking side.
Right, but
I think that a lot of
but
that,
we digress.
Yeah,
You digress.
my-
I say they need to put weight on.
I think it'll. I think that would. No, I mean, like, it's not bad, of course, but like at the same time, when I think of like different wrestling cultures, I think of lucha libre. You know, there are some guys who are bigger, and they're more power wrestlers. But a lot of the time, the lucha guys, you're not going to see them walking out sideways through a door because their back is so big. You know what I mean?
So is Dynamite Kid a lucha guy?
I'm not saying that. And to be fair, some
Yeah.
guys are just fucked with genetics.
I
Like,
mean,
it is what it is.
Jack Perry's not a lucha guy. I mean, Orange Cassidy's not a lucha guy. Darby Allin's not a lucha guy.
But they wrestle. But these
Just
guys
saying.
wrestle like some of these guys wrestle like lucha guys. It's not. They're not. Not everybody has to wear a mask to be a lucha guy.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I-
Darby's not pulling poison ranas and hurricane ranas and
He's pulling
shit
some
like
shit
that.
out though.
Yeah, no, he's pulling some fucking tacks out. That's what he's doing. He's putting some glass out.
I'd say he's pretty aerodynamic.
Yeah, I think he does.
His dives are probably some of the craziest
Oh
dives.
no!
like-
Don't get me wrong. His dive is number one.
Yeah.
I mean, dives are
Number one.
lucha in
I
some
think it's
degree.
a
most
agree to
degrees.
disagree
Yeah.
type of
His
situation.
Tope Suicida is 100% probably the best in the game.
Oh my God! Yeah, he shoots out like a goddamn cannon.
Fucking dart being shot out
It's
by a
nice.
fucking cannon.
So
Yeah,
it's real nice.
that's nice. But it's just, for me, it's just the guys who are under 200 pounds and who are below 6 feet, they just don't resonate to me.
How did you feel about the
Below 6
cruiserweight?
feet.
How did you feel about the cruiserweight division in WCW?
I loved it because it was a cruiserweight division and we didn't have Hulk Hogan,
So
competing
you'd rather have these guys be like,
in their own division.
in their
Just
own pocket.
X division. X division. Cruiserweight
well,
division.
the X division was no limits. That's why a guy like Samoa Joe came in and smashed it.
You're right. He was fat, but for the most part, the X division, he was the only fat guy there.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part,
did Abyss
No.
fucking fight for the X division title?
They definitely had to mix
He
it
was
up.
the
but
only fat guy there.
Their emphasis on
Was speed.
was speed. Yeah, but
Yeah,
they always
speed.
promoted it as no limits. There was no
Yeah.
weight limit on that division.
They can say there was no limits, but I mean, the fact of the matter is, we had one fat guy compete.
I mean, he fit right in. I thought. with
I think
that
it's more so the
division, yeah.
style than we are. They were focusing more so on style than they
Style,
were
yeah.
on the weight.
The weight, yeah.
But they emphasized it like, hey, if this is a high flyer thing, why is this big dude in here? Well, it's like, no, well, he can go. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear that. It's just right now with the way that the world works, the size that human beings have on them nowadays, you can get better. Just put a little bit of weight on, and I'll believe you.
Yeah.
Until then,
we've
I'm
belabored
not a
this
believer.
point enough. But let's get back to our future match here. I did mention it is the Golden Lovers. That is Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, as I like to say, Ibush Kota.
Ibushi Kota.
And oh man, it's so cool to see this time period again. And Kenny Omega looks like $1 million, is on his path to the IWGP World Heavyweight title at this point, which is kind of what got my wheel spinning. Like, man, he's focused on this tag stuff, but he's also in the mix of the world title hunt. You know, I don't know where his focuses lie so much right here, but I might have to just go back and rewatch these next 2 to 3 months play out for him during this time. But I don't know if did y'all think of that at all?
Not necessarily. It's all kind of a blur to me, like that whole 2 to 3 year run. Like, I remember the big time matches and like, but like the intertwining, like how did they get from here to here? Like, it didn't really cross my mind. I think, because this was early in the year?
Yeah, this is the end of March here, and I believe Kenny gets the title in June off of Okada.
Right.
So that's very soon. I mean, 3
months?
that's like 2 months and change.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I can't remember exactly when Okada dishes out the challenge to Omega. It could be very imminent at this point. But, yeah, man, I'd love to go back and figure all that out because I loved Kenny's rise to the top here in New Japan. But besides that, we got a lot going on in this match. Guys, where would y'all like to take this? I have so many notes here. First one that kind of sparks something here is Brody King as a young lion. I noticed him on the side.
He's
got
a
like
young lion.
He's got like some sort of faux hawk, sort of deal, or mohawk, mullet mohawk.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
What?
What are you trying to say over there? You don't
Like-
like the faux hawk, the mohawk?
He's got. Well, it's a long mohawk.
Hey, look at me.
What do you mean? You don't have a mohawk, bro. Or was it an attempted mohawk?
It was an attempted mohawk.
It was an attempted mohawk.
He went to
Oh.
Great Clips for an
Literally,
attempted mohawk.
literally, the lady goes, "Oh, a mohawk," and I go, "Yeah, sure." And she gives me this shit.
Yeah, she fucked you up, bro.
What the fuck?
I don't know how you keep going to Great Clips after this
Last
time.
Last time. Never go there again. All I know, barbershops, best haircuts in the world. Barbers are this nation's backbone.
I saw Brody King around this time wrestle for AAW.
What is AEW?
AAW is like a promotion more so out of the Midwest, but they would occasionally come to Austin.
Oh.
So I got to see him, and I believe it was it was him and Jimmy Jacobs versus Darby and Sammy Callahan in a no DQ tag match.
Wow.
Very, very good match. That was kind of my first look at Brody King around, and this was around, I believe, the same year.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to even recall the first time I saw Brody King. I must have not seen him until there were rumblings that he was going to join AEW, unless he
Yeah.
had like came out of nowhere and
Yeah.
joined the House of Black. That's all hazy to me now, but
Did he have some kind of matches with Darby before this shit?
Probably.
Because I could have sworn I saw something with him beating the shit out of Darby in some backwood bar or something like that, and that was my first real experience with.
They had a lot of matches together.
Okay.
on
Did, huh?
indies.
Okay, so that was
Yeah.
probably my first experience with him. Is when I heard he was signing with AEW along with Darby Allin. I went on the interweb, I went down that rabbit hole, and I started watching these wrestlers that I'd never heard of before.
I'd
and
like
I
to
thought-
check that out.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, "Holy shit, this guy Darby Allin, he's a badass, man.
It's a bad motherfucker right
He's goddamn bad, Stan.
Hey, man, Brody King.
But he ain't as bad as me, 'cause I'm a 5-time champion? What? I've won the King of the Ring.
What?
I've had so many goddamn beers that God can't count.
What?
And on top of that, I'm here doing suplex studies with Isaiah and Brother Eric.
Oh, hell yeah.
You're goddamn right, Stan.
Isaiah, what stands out to you in this Golden Lovers versus Bucks match?
Definitely the storytelling that is done, not necessarily through the moves, but through like the nuances of Kenny being reluctant to compete with his friends.
Yes,
Lots of that in this match, here and there.
What
Yeah.
starts as a competitive match becomes a all-out war between three best friends and
Mhm.
one estranged lover.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of storytelling with the Bucks, like acting wise. Matt
Yeah.
kind of
Selling the back?
selling the back that he's been selling for almost a decade now. But definitely, one shot from Ibushi, boom, he goes down.
Oh, yeah.
A forearm to the back, boom, he goes down. Like he sold this thing rigorously throughout the match. And the fact that he gets real fired up when he notices that Kenny isn't going all out on him, and he's like, "Nah, like don't try to little bro me, like, you know what I mean?"
Yeah,
Like,
he was definitely pulling that towards the end there. You're right. It rubbed Matt the wrong way, and he ate a one-winged angel for his troubles at that moment later on in the match.
You think it was happy?
Yeah, I don't think he was happy.
Are you
Gator.
happy?
Are you happy?
Are you happy with this?
Fucking Nick Jackson was giving Kenny an earful after that one.
And then Kenny just proceeded to kick his ass again.
Yeah.
Are you happy? Kick. Take that, motherfucker.
God.
One thing that I thought was cool, Isaiah actually alluded to it, was that, that we got the heavyweight division here. I didn't know that there was two different divisions here, so this is actually something to me, because when I walked into this match, I'm seeing these guys, they're big.
Who?
The Bucks.
Okay.
They're much bigger. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, these guys look fucking great right now. I didn't know it was because there's actually a heavyweight division within New Japan. So it made it all make sense right there. Something else I thought was really cool, just to get off topic, was Jim Ross is on the call.
Yeah, him
with,
and Barnett.
Josh Barnett. Like, what a weird fucking combo.
And they did that quite a bit during this time. I guess Isaiah was saying this their American team.
basically all the U.S. shows were primarily called by Barnett and Jim Ross for a good while
This
until they kind of just went with I think Kevin Kelly and whoever. But Man, Jim Ross was a little hit or miss during this time.
Yeah.
He's still a little hit or miss.
Well, I think he's done a lot better. Like when they just pull him in for the main events.
That's
I think
what I'm saying,
the stuff he was doing at All Out was really well done, especially the
Perfectly
cage
fine.
match.
Yeah.
If you break it down basic for the man, he can come through.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
ask him to do an entire event, that's way too much
Yeah.
information for him to process.
And he doesn't want to do that anymore.
He doesn't.
so.
He doesn't. So, I mean, for what he's doing right now, hey, man, hats off to you. I commend you. At your age, you're doing a great job.
My thing is, man, the English commentary team that goes to the Japan shows is so much better than this team that we got in this.
Yeah.
When you have Don Callis and Kevin Kelly calling this shit, it's just another level.
They were sorely missed in this match,
And
for
they're
sure.
they just sell the shit out of everything. That's what they do. They're sellers.
Yeah.
So what's up with this Golden Lovers gimmick exactly? Why don't y'all chat me up on this shit?
So
Because
we-
I'm
we
not
kind of-
keen. I'm not familiar.
We kind of
Give it to me.
alluded to it earlier.
Yeah, I
Give-
just
give-
got
give-
into it.
Give it to me. Tell me what's up with this.
So basically, these guys started off as rivals in DDT and
Mhm.
other Japanese promotion in about the mid 2000s, mid to late 2000s.
Yeah.
Eventually, they become a team. They're called the Golden Lovers, and they wrestled primarily as a junior tag. They wrestled in New Japan as the Golden Lovers early on, and they became IWGP Tag Champions, junior tag champions.
Junior. Okay.
They ended up beating Fergal Devitt, better
That's
known,
right.
Good old Finn Balor.
better known as Finn Balor,
Hi, Finn Balor here.
as well as
Top of the morning to you. Finn Balor here.
as well as his
Gave me some
partner,
Lucky Charms.
his partner Ryusuke Taguchi.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Taguchi.
I said, did you know they're magically delicious?
But yeah, so they had a lot of history in New Japan as a team, and even outside of New Japan as a team. And like I said earlier, they kind of like had these little sexual undertones sometimes. It wasn't necessarily dominating a storyline or anything, but for the female audience, they would kind of give them a little something as well.
So let me ask you, within this Golden Lovers gimmick, who's giving it and who's taking it? Heyo!
It's not my discretion, but yeah, it was definitely a controversial thing. I mean, anything Kenny did around this time was pretty controversial. I remember watching videos of him doing a match in his house against a guy in Canada.
I don't know if I ever saw that.
I got to put you on to that when we're done here.
Send it my way.
But he's done a lot of crazy stuff, as has Ibushi. Ibushi is a goddamn maniac. Even this far back, he would wrestle with fireworks, doing Phoenix splashes off of a soda machine onto
the
a
fuck
car.
Is he fucking Mankind?
No, like honestly, he's insane, and he still does crazy stuff to this day. So
You know what? Sabushi.
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 they're
Put that on a
definitely
shirt.
Crazy.
they're
Sabushi.
definitely a decorated junior tag in Japanese wrestling history.
My God. One thing that I did notice coming out is they had matching shirts, but one was black, one was white. Which one do you have?
I have neither of these shirts in
Ooh.
particular. I had a Hot Topic special.
Ooh.
It was the one with the yellow. It was like the kind of the one that Kenny had on his gear on the back
On
of
the
his
back.
It was like
tights.
the two wings with like the
Yeah.
omega and the star in the middle.
Right.
And it just said Golden Lovers. So
Mm.
that was the one I ended up buying. But I definitely wanted the fitted of the logo, the GL logo on those shirts that you're talking about.
Oh,
white,
yeah.
white or black?
Black T-shirts for me all
I would
day.
probably
Totally
go black, yeah.
Totally black. Yeah, totally black.
I-
But you know what?
yeah.
I'm greedy. Give me one of both.
Want one of each?
I need one of each.
Might rock the cutoff style on the white one.
bro. Give it to me. Give it to me. So we got red shoes on this call again.
Bro, I was just about to say that.
We
He's
got
back
fucking-
on Suplex Studies.
Fucking
Your
red shoes, baby. What's
best
up?
ref of all time?
Of all time, baby.
Is that what you were saying?
Dude, he's the best of all time.
He's the shit, dude. I
This is
told
the-
you.
This is the only dude who can call a fucking match the way it's supposed to be called, stay off camera, and not fucking be a spot monkey. He is amazing. His red shoes are the only thing that fucking stick out. I'm sorry. He's just the best of all time.
He's great.
Earl Hebner, sorry about that.
Sorry about your damn luck.
Sorry about your damn luck.
Yeah, Red Shoes can do no wrong, man. I think he's got some of the best reactions of any ref in wrestling, really. Especially when it comes to, the shenanigans with the Bucks and Omega. He definitely hams it up a little bit.
Yeah. Very lenient referee, as we all know. And I don't give a fuck. It's pro wrestling, man. Who gives a shit?
He's got a 20 count, baby.
Yeah, 20
He's
count.
got a 20 count.
Dude, so I forgot to mention here, we watched this on New Japan World, so it's $10 a month, but I'd say it's definitely worth it.
Would
You
you
watch
say
this and then watch a bunch of other stuff you haven't seen on here, but I couldn't find it on YouTube really nice. Daily Motion had it, but like half the match. So the only where I found it in full for free was Facebook, but I don't like 480p, so I couldn't do that to us, guys. I'm glad we watched the whole thing the way it was meant to be watched. And yeah, dude, New Japan is just cinema, man. Pro wrestling cinema. Every time, I love their camera angles. They know how to find their talent more often than not. Sometimes they miss Kenny's poses, which pisses me off to no end. But you know, you can't win them all. But gosh, there are so many major maneuvers in this match. We don't have time to go through all of them. But Gator, what was your favorite match, or what was your favorite move or maneuver of the match? What stands out?
I don't want to get into the moves just yet. So much I want to get into some funny shit that JR said.
Oh, go ahead. By all
what did he
means.
say? Is JR said Dr. Phil? Dr. Phil was here?
Something about Dr. Phil couldn't make it. I don't know what
Dr.
he was
Phil
alluding
couldn't-
to. I
So-
missed
What the fuck
it.
was he talking about?
Basically, he was saying that it's so sold out that Dr. Phil couldn't get a ticket.
So was Dr. Phil like a big deal at the time?
I think he just said it to say it.
Yeah,
Dr. Phil can't even
There
get
was
in
no
here.
really like, yeah.
I get it. He's like a high-profile guy. Can't even get in.
I
kinda
guess.
deal, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if you wanted to say anything, you could have been like fucking Jennifer Lopez couldn't get in here. Taylor Swift couldn't get in here. That would have been up there. But I guess at that time, Taylor Swift
I'm pretty
wasn't
sure they'd
around.
let Taylor Swift in the building.
Oh yeah. Well,
Dr. Phil would be like, bro, you get the fuck out of here.
well, that all depends on how many points Travis Kelce gave me on the day. If he had enough points, Taylor Swift is allowed to bring his ass in. Let's go to the footage.
Go to the footage.
Let's go to the footage. What's going on right now?
I
But
got
yeah.
a man. So this one I have here is the anti-air super kick when Kenny Omega was going for the Terminator, Rise of the Terminator. Gosh, man, that was so well timed from Nick Jackson. But then I was kind of thinking, like, how does Kenny not see him off in his peripheral vision? He's hauling ass. I get it, but still a cool moment. And Isaiah, what'd you think of that? We kind of commented on that one when we were watching it back.
It's they know each other's moveset so well. And it's
yeah.
it's very, very apparent in this match, especially with Kenny and the Bucks. Man, there were some mishaps in this match as well.
There were, man.
Like
the meeting of the minds.
meeting
mishap.
of the minds, yeah. So they went for a little hunky dory here. I don't know what to call it.
Oh yeah, we got the you can't escape. I don't know what you call that press thing Kenny does.
Oh, you talking about the one where they fucking hit each other's
Yes.
heads?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that looked bad.
Basically, yeah, Ibushi was coming off the top, I believe, or no, was it Kenny?
Kenny was going for the moonsault, and
Ibushi was rolling.
Ibushi was rolling
out
through
of
and
the
didn't
way.
quite clear in time, and they hit each other's faces.
So I think Kenny got hit in the face with Ibushi's noggin there.
Yeah.
And so you can tell right away, Kenny starts grabbing his face starts like swelling up towards the end of this thing. And even in the closing shot, where they're posing together, his face is all puffed up.
Yes, dude.
I think Ibushi's mouth was bleeding too.
It
wasn't
was, yeah.
Yeah, Ibushi was bleeding from the mouth.
So they really rolled with the punches here. Even with the cross slash where they both go to the outside on the Bucks.
Right, yeah.
They didn't really catch it on camera, which is kind of a blessing in disguise. But Ibushi kind of slipped up on I don't know if he was going for a moonsault to the outside, but he ended up just hitting a Rana instead. But I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Well, it looked like he overshot the moonsault off the turnbuckle to the outside
And then just hit
and
the
then
Rana.
hit the Rana right immediately after,
Right.
it looked like. But you're right. We didn't get the footage on Ibushi's moonsault.
And I remember seeing this live and seeing them
Kinda miscue.
it. But because they were showing the feed above, so all the camera angles that they were showing live, because I think this was live on Access.
Yeah, more than likely
So-
not. Yeah.
Yeah, so they didn't really capture that. So it was more so a blessing in disguise. They got a great look of Kenny going out to Matt.
I thought one of my favorite spots of this matches was whenever I think Kenny has somebody on the on the outside apron, and one of the Jacksons goes to the top rope, springboards, and comes off with a German suplex while Kenny has that dude up in a one-winged angel position.
Oh, right. Yeah, they were about to go through the table that was kind of propped up on the
Yeah, that's
barricade
what it
and the
was.
apron. But, Kenny was going to possibly hit Matt Jackson, right? With the one winged
Right.
onto the table. But then, yeah, you're right.
He fights out of it,
Yeah.
and then Ibushi springs up, almost
That's
like a
what it
Shelton
is.
Benjamin type deal.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And he springs up, grabs him, release German off the fucking top rope.
That was fucking sick.
Insane spot. Matt Jackson definitely eats shit on it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, get me out of here.
There were many moments like that.
He looks at Nick and goes, get me out of here.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, this match is full of pretty surprising moments. That one included there, but my goodness, guys, we have so much going on here. I have a V-trigger meter counted up, a super kick meter that I didn't quite count correctly, and also a suplex count. Do y'all want to know any of these numbers I grabbed here at
Give
all?
it to us.
So super kick, I got a total of 6. I might have missed 1 or 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
V-trigger, we have
A dozen?
we have 7 from Kenny. Or there's 2 in parentheses at the end here because the finish of the match was the golden levers hitting the, what do they call that on?
Golden trigger.
The golden trigger, yes. So we're accounting that as
The
2
E-
knees,
the
2
EVP
triggers.
trigger.
Yeah, which is now the EVP trigger.
EVP trigger.
So that's you can either count that as 6 or 7 V triggers. And our suplex count, we got a total of 5.
5, baby.
Maybe 1 dragon. There's a big fucking superplex from the golden levers onto
I think
Matt.
there was an ugly German suplex to Kenny on the apron.
Yes,
That was ugly.
Was pretty.
Kenny had a side suplex on the apron as
That's
well.
right.
Had a goddamn side
Hit a
suplex,
side.
you say?
Here are our side suplex episode 4. If you haven't, we just released that over this past weekend, covering All Out.
I also thought one of the best spots there was when they get the Macho Man elbow drop going through that through that table.
Match of the moment of the match for me there.
Is it Macho Man?
Yeah, there you go.
Macho Man Randy Jackson.
Macho
hitting-
Jackson.
Macho Jackson hitting that elbow from the heavens above. Yeah,
And
hit
that
him
was-
from the heavens.
That was diverted off of a more bang for your buck, where Matt Jackson is supposed to be going up for a moonsault,
Is that what it was?
typically.
Yeah.
But he, diverts, sees Kenny hanging on to that table we're just talking about and delivers the most shocking moments of the match. To me, it was the coolest part. It was so cool.
It was really cool to see your guys' reaction to all this because of course I've seen the match obviously. but
Right.
I haven't watched this back since it happened.
No shit. It's been that long.
It's been that long. So I even popped
Yeah.
for the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see you were up in arms about this
Oh,
shit.
my God.
I
dude.
just get super fucking focused. When I'm watching a match, I'm just stone-faced, watching it, concentrating. Nobody fuck with me. I'm watching this shit.
I was hyped up. Yeah, we New Japan World's volume output was very subdued and didn't really sound too loud, so the volume we had on this match wasn't as loud as I'd liked it to be, but Eric popping in here. I'm just an idiot. The volume button was in the top right of the New Japan video. I just missed it. Back to the show. Either way, I was still very hyped up indeed, Isaias. Yeah, I couldn't help myself, man. It was too cool, and these are some of my favorite wrestlers, so I was trying to remember, had I seen this all the way back then, because this was the time when I was very much back into wrestling, but I wasn't keeping up with every damn thing. Like, I definitely want to say I was watching BTE weekly at this point, but I don't think I saw this match, and I might have saw the highlights probably, but
So
I don't know, man.
BTE was super important at this time.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big time storyline device for them, and you necessarily didn't have to watch weekly Ring of Honor. You didn't have to watch all the New Japan stuff. Mainly just the big shows to see the big time storyline development. So BTE kind of kept all of that intertwined in a way between all of those different promotions that they were working.
Yeah. No, BTE was great back then. It definitely kept me engaged during this time, as well as I was dipping my toes into WWE too. I mean, even at this point, I think Gator. We watched WrestleMania 28. Is that 34?
Is
New
that the
Orleans.
one where Taker lost?
Against Roman.
Yeah.
It could be.
That's
Yeah.
30, that's 2017.
That was
Okay,
my
2017?
That was my reintroduction into the swimming pool of wrestling,
yeah.
and
so-
I was shocked, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, this
shocked.
isn't the same year as that one, but I think we might have caught that 2018 one as well.
We definitely caught the Roman Reigns versus Undertaker. That was the first
Yeah.
one back, and I remember because I was there saying, "There's absolutely no fucking way Taker loses to this. Who the fuck is this guy?" And he did. So
yeah.
I think
we
it worked.
know-
I think it worked out all right.
I really don't. I really
For
don't.
Roman?
For Taker.
Oh well. God.
I mean, dude,
Taker was washed, bro. He was so washed.
That streak should have fucking never been broken ever.
Brother, did you
ever.
the match? The match itself is not great, and it's not because of Roman.
Right, but my whole point is that the streak should have never been broken, and they should have known when to pull the cord. It's over. Don't throw him in there anymore. Don't make him a losing jabroni. Have some respect for what he did in this business. Give him his streak. Give him his flowers. Send him goodbye.
So my juxtaposition on that is, I was more in the camp of you should give this to a up and coming talent.
Yeah.
You should give back. Like Taker is an old school guy, right? You have to give back to the business. You build up your longevity. You build up your equity. And then when the time is right, when the meeting, whenever everything comes together, you help build someone else to become a bigger star.
Did Hogan do that?
Taker's not Hogan.
Yeah,
My
that's
whole
a
point
different-
is that the old school mentality of wrestlers.
Hogan didn't want to
did
lose
not
to
think
anybody,
like that.
though.
They
Hogan
didn't think like that.
Hogan never wanted to lose to
They didn't
anybody
think-
unless he got the win back.
But they didn't think like that back in that day, man.
So are you like trying to?
I'm saying Taker was an established number one guy who had a legacy,
Right.
and they tarnished his legacy.
Okay, so if we look at this as like, and I don't want to go off too much on a tangent
Oh,
here,
hey,
but
that's all right.
if we look at this as what it is, it's wrestling. We're supposed to have a different. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a type of sense of believability, right? It's a combat sport.
Mhm.
Eventually, at the end of the day, this man wrestles once a year. He's at an advanced age.
Mm.
If you put him in there with Brock Lesnar, he was not going to win.
That's why you shouldn't have done it.
I know, and I don't think
That's why you
Brock
just shouldn't have done it.
didn't need it, but it definitely helped him because Brock, prior to this, lost to Triple H at WrestleMania. He lost to Cena when he came back. So like he definitely did need it, but like could they have went about it a different way as far as not putting him with Taker and just having him beat more established stars in another program? More than likely.
Did he not go on to become UFC champion of the world?
He was
Then-
already
then-
UFC champion.
Yeah,
This
that
is
already
already
had happened.
Why did he need to beat Taker then if he was already established? You didn't need
so
to beat Taker.
What I'm talking about is his
They
return.
took it from
What
him.
I'm talking about is his return to WWE in 2012. When he came back and he confronted John Cena after Cena lost to The Rock at Mania, right? They had a match at Extreme Rules 2012.
Hmm.
Brutal match, crazy match, especially for that time period in the PG era.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've never seen that one.
It's a bloodbath.
What?
Yeah.
Actual blood during this
yeah,
time?
it's probably
Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah,
and,
right.
And Lesnar was busting him up hard way.
Holy
So
shit.
but Cena won. Cena beat him.
Whoa.
And then you go on to the next Mania, he loses to Triple H.
And then the following Mania, he beats Taker.
He beats Taker. So he didn't on his way back, he lost to Cena, he lost to Triple
Yeah.
H, and he didn't really have a lot of appearances in between those times because he was the attraction. So when you have to eventually, considering what they did after that Mania in 2014, they put the world title on him. And they had him hold that until Mania 31 whenever Seth cashed in. You know what I mean? So, like, they needed someone for Roman to conquer, and they played the long game with that eventually. But it depends. It depends on what
Yeah.
you're really emphasizing here. But my thing was always the streak needs to go to somebody who is on the come up and not necessarily someone who is already established. But I do understand why they did it because Lesnar's stock wasn't necessarily the highest at that time.
And my whole thing is the streak didn't need to be broken ever, no matter what. It was something sacred in the wrestling business, in the WWE. It was sacred,
So,
and they broke it.
But why wouldn't you want someone to benefit from that? Why wouldn't you
Why
want
does
someone
Brock
to get that
Lesnar
rub?
need to benefit from it?
didn't-
He's already a
what-
made
what-
star. Why does
We're
Roman
not talking.
Reigns need
We're
to
not
benefit?
talking
He's
about
already a made
Lesnar though.
star.
Like what I'm saying
Yeah.
is,
These are the two guys that beat him.
what I'm talking about is not
I'm
even.
talking about the two guys that beat him.
Okay, what I'm saying is, okay, so Roman,
Didn't need it.
I would disagree.
Yeah, at that point, I think he
They were
needed
gonna
to
they were
beat
gonna
Taker.
push him. They were gonna push him up our asses no matter what.
Yeah, but this
Beat
definitely
Taker.
helped.
It
You could have
definitely
beaten
helped.
Hogan. You could have beaten Bret Hart. You could have beaten Shawn Michaels. They were gonna
What?
push him up our asses no matter what. They were gonna beat him. Anybody that went up against him, they were gonna.
And there
him
is some
over.
there is some truth to that. No, not
it
even
didn't
gonna front.
matter.
But
So they didn't need to beat Taker. They could have beaten
But
anybody else.
the fan engagement because of this was a lot higher than it was prior because people were just sitting on their hands. Around this time, WWE wasn't necessarily doing gangbuster
No,
numbers.
it sucked. It sucked. That's why I wasn't watching.
But again, you can't keep milking the Undertaker cow until it dries up. You need to have some sort of benefit from it so you can carry on your business for another 70 years.
And I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I'm also a purist, and I believe that some things are sacred and should be instoned in fucking, just like the fucking Rushmore, Mount Rushmore.
Right, and that's
That's-
dude, that's totally fine.
So,
So-
that streak should have been engraved in the Mount Rushmore.
So should Bruno have held the title for forever until he died?
Bruno held it for way too long, period.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
So
that was because
so
they didn't have anybody
you don't
else
think
to take it
you
from
don't
him.
think winning 20 WrestleManias in a row was too much?
Who else was going to beat Bruno back then?
There
was nobody better.
You're missing the point here. What I'm saying is, if it's such about like tradition and it's like all this time that you built up into it, should like why 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
20
long
plus
time.
years of winning at WrestleMania, why wouldn't you let someone benefit off of that? We're not even talking about Brock or Roman. I can agree with you that maybe those were questionable
But
choices.
we're talking about a
just
streak
in
as
general.
opposed. We're
I'm talking about in general.
a streak as opposed to a title. There's a big difference.
I
There's a streak
and I
there's a
get that.
title. Is Bruno past a title? That was the number one guy. This streak was basically you're not the number one guy, but you're solidified in wrestling history as the guy that never lost at WrestleMania.
But you're trying to elevate other people because
fuck
of
other
that.
people. Fuck other people.
You got it. You got
I
it, bro.
am
You
the
got it.
I'm
Look,
the Undertaker.
Hey, Gator, we get it, bro.
You got it.
There's no that's an agree to disagree again. in
It
there.
really
Yeah.
is. But in my opinion, fuck the other people because you know what? Brock came up anyway.
Right.
Roman came up anyway.
So they
did
just
not
had the wrong
need-
guy,
They did not need
is what
the
you're trying to
Undertaker
say.
to bring them up.
Okay.
If they had lost to Dolph Ziggler and they turned Dolph Ziggler into the next fucking AJ Styles, I would agree.
Okay, so basically you're saying they just picked the wrong
They
guy.
picked the wrong
All right,
guys.
well then they didn't have very many options
I
because
guess
there
at-
were
I
no
guess, I
like
guess at that time they didn't.
who'd you have? John Moxley?
Adam Rose.
John Cena?
Yeah. Bray? I don't know.
John Cena even.
Does John Cena need it?
Kevin
to
Owens?
your
I mean,
point.
okay, fine. You're right. To my point, then let's
Yeah.
then basically to that point, you could have gone with any other superstar that was below the Undertaker and not on the A card. Put him over.
But what you're saying is the streak should have never been broken. What
It
I'm
really
saying,
shouldn't have.
what I'm
It
saying
really
is
shouldn't
there is a benefit to having that moment.
and I understand, and I understand that. I understand that. But did Sting do that
But it
in
was
his
just the
final
wrong
match?
guy, as you're saying.
Sting didn't.
That
do it
wasn't
in
his
his final match.
choice. That was not his
Yeah.
choice.
So was it exactly? It wasn't Taker's choice. He had to do what he was told to do, and I didn't agree with it.
Yeah. But hey, the streak is all in the past now. We are gonna transition right back to our feature match
Are
here.
you talking about digressing?
Yeah, sure. That we could do that. Gosh, any other things y'all want to wrap up about
Absolutely.
this tag match?
Absolutely. The
What do you-
Jacksons know how to perform a sharpshooter.
Hey, yeah.
Sharpshooter.
We got a Matt Jackson sharpshooter. Not one, but two sharpshooters.
Two.
What I really liked about this sharpshooter was that this was kind of in the heat of the battle here, and he was applying that pressure. And, at first they broke up the
Swerve.
sharpshooter, and then the second time around he goes for it again, and he just collapses. The back gives out.
And
the
holds it for a
back.
while, and he's like,
That's
my
right.
back.
He's Bad Back Jackson.
Yes.
Ow, my back, Bad Back Jackson.
Matt Baxon.
Yeah, Matt Baxton and JR is emphasizing throughout the entire match how bad Matt Jackson's back is right now because I think Isaiah alluded to it earlier in the match, but what we were watching is that he had just gotten injured or this was something new?
I believe over the last year he was selling a
Yeah.
back injury.
Okay.
And,
like a lagging injury
and,
that he was
he would
going
go
through.
on to sell it to this day, basically.
Yes, to this day. And I noticed that throughout this entire match, like you were saying, Ibushi really worked that back. I don't know so much as Kenny worked the back because he was very sympathetic
Right.
towards the Bucks, but I did see Ibushi laying in some really hard yes kicks on Matt Jackson's back.
Oh, he was laying them in all right.
Yeah, he was laying them in. I mean, it looked like it really hurt.
To the front and the back.
The Matt back Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
It's my back.
There was also a last ride via Ibushi Kota to Nick Jackson on the announcer's table
Was
towards
that
the end here.
Was that outside?
Yeah, that was badass.
Yeah.
Another table crash
That
moment.
big.
I remember losing my shit seeing this in person.
Dude, I would have fucking went crazy.
Yeah, that shit had the place rocking.
Oh,
That-
my God.
such a good spot, and Ibushi really gets them up.
Oh my God, he is
Pause.
a master of the last ride there.
Why did Red Shoes sell his own back in this match? Did y'all notice that?
There was that one part I did notice it.
Red Shoes was like holding his back, like my back
Was he
hurts
getting out of
too.
he was doing a count, right? A pin count?
Is
and
that what
then
it was?
He gets up and clutches his back.
He's
Yeah,
having
he
some-
might have pulled something.
He's
Yeah.
having some
Red-
back spasms there.
Red Shoes didn't limber up before this one, maybe.
Man, you got to get them stretching techniques done. Didn't Zombieland teach you anything? Limber up.
Limber up.
Limber up.
Double tap.
But yeah, dude, we already talked about it earlier. I'm a huge Red Shoes fan.
Huge. Hell yeah. Red Shoes is the shit. That's kind of all I got on this match. We covered this here, what I'm looking at. Oh, no, we have the fallout after the match. So, yes, as we said earlier, we have a golden trigger to seal the deal on Matt Jackson. And we have none other than Cody Rhodes doing a run-in after this match after...
Got Cody Rhodes coming in, baby. That's my son.
Right. That's right,
That's
guys.
my son, baby, coming in there letting everybody
you
know,
see?
hey, Nick, hey, Matt, you guys suck. You had one job, baby, and you couldn't get it done. What the hell is wrong with y'all? I'm going to kick both of your asses out of Bullet Club tomorrow, baby.
That's right, Dad. If you were there, we could have had you in Bullet Club as an honorary member.
Cody.
But I didn't have these
I was-
controls.
I was in the NWO, baby. I could have been Bullet Club all day, every day, dishing out them bionic elbows. You know that, son.
The best we could do was Jeff Jarrett
You
and
did-
Scott Hall.
You didn't just say that. Tell me you didn't just say that.
But yeah, Cody runs in and he's talking mad shit to Matt Jackson, saying, you only had one job, you had one job. And then Nick kind of tries to get in the way and gets a pie face for his troubles. And
A little callback here to the Kenny pushing Matt at New Beginning.
so it was kind of like a mirrored
Right.
little situation here.
Yeah, they did, and then they did this a lot in New Japan. They definitely called back to more specific moments in time, and I picked up on this right away. Even the way they did it with the seat, he sat him down, basically shoved him, and he sits down and kind of processes it. And
yeah.
even after the match, I mean, Nick and Matt aren't necessarily chummy with Kenny either. It's not like they
No.
resolved this. So
Yeah, one of them walked out, right?
yeah, so Nick shakes the hand of Kenny Omega.
Who
Matt
made the
walks
save
out.
here? He
And-
he came in and spooked Cody.
Yeah, he did.
And Ibushi was in there. He came in as well. So
Yeah.
And but Mac necessarily wasn't so
Mac?
received. Mac
Mac.
Matt necessarily wasn't so receiving of this handshake. So you kind of left with a lot of questions going into the next couple shows as far as where does the Elite stand, where does Bullet
Yeah.
Club stand.
Do you think the first responders were asking questions upon themselves?
JR calls the Young Lions the first responders.
The first
at some-
responders are out here.
Is that when the elbow through the table happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when the elbow through the table happened. We had good old fucking Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man Matt Jackson. Yeah.
Match Jackson.
Matt Jackson hit the elbow from the heavens above. Yeah.
What a thing of beauty that was.
Another thing towards the end of this match is as Kenny is delivering this, he was delivering a promo at the end.
Oh, yes. We get the
Um,
promo.
Good old swollen face.
Yeah.
Where did, and that swollen face looks like it came from that. What was that spot that they did earlier?
Yeah, the bonking of the heads that we talked about earlier. Yeah, on full display here. He mentions it. Probably got a broken orbital bone.
Yes.
So
Oh, really?
That's what he said. Yeah.
he did
No
say that.
shit.
Yeah. But I don't think he did suffer such an injury. I
Yeah,
could
he
be
didn't have
wrong.
to wear the LeBron mask or
No,
anything
yeah.
like that.
He wasn't doing that full on Taker mask when he got fucking sat on
Right.
by Mabel.
Brandon Cutler Jones.
Oh my god.
Any final thoughts, Isaiah, on your match of the week you brought in here for us?
I mean, it was just so good to come back and just go down memory road. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, you're there in the flesh in Long Beach,
Yeah.
California.
Got to. I mean, there's a lot of other good stuff on this show. You had Will Ospreay versus Jushin Liger.
What the fuck?
What?
Well, initially it was supposed to be.
We got some Liger on this?
So it was initially it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio and Liger.
What happened?
Ray got injured on an indie date before.
No way.
So they ended up pulling a switch, and Will Ospreay got the nod.
Damn.
And they had a great match. Got to see LIJ in action. Went to PWG that weekend as well. Got to see Keith Lee win the PWG title.
Oh, that's right.
Matt Riddle versus ESJ.
Bro.
Saw Bandito for the first time.
What a weekend you had
Yeah,
there, dude.
it was an
Man.
amazing time. Definitely look forward to going back to the West Coast.
I wish.
Oh, yeah.
I wish los I wish los Ingobernables were doing good this week, but they're not. That's my team name.
Yeah, that's one of his.
Oh, that's your
fantasy
team
leagues.
name?
my
I was
team
about to
name.
say, Naito was what, top 10 on
no,
PWI?
that's my team name, and we're not top
Think
10
so.
right now. We're not top 10. What was he? What did he come in ranked at?
Let me go take a look at the
Let's-
list real quick.
let's
I don't
look
want
at
to.
Suya.
We're going to get to the footage right there. Yeah, I thought
Okay,
this was a great match.
top five.
Top 5?
What?
Ranked at 5?
It's Cody,
How the
Swerve,
fuck?
Ospreay, Rollins, Naito. Top 5.
Wow. No Roman Reigns.
I mean, well, yeah, why would he?
He
I'm
barely
just
wrestled.
saying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. They always, Roman Reigns. Everybody want to get on that dick sucking train. I guess people are getting off that train nowadays. It's good to see.
Yeah, I don't see
Yeah.
Roman. I don't see Roman on this list at all.
Wow,
It's
Raggy.
probably like he's got to be within the first 100, I'd imagine. But
Ooh, I'm surprised.
I might be tripping, but I don't see him
Are
at
you
all.
sure
I'm
this
already
is-
in the 90s.
Are you sure this isn't back like 4 or 5 years ago?
No, this
This
is
is the current
well, you got to
list.
think he hasn't even competed more or less these last 4 or 5 months since Mania, so he's kind of out of
yeah.
contention here during that time period.
So
I'd
he
say.
wrestled for most of the year, loses 4 or 5 months, and then he's
But
out.
did he even wrestle most of the year? I don't think he did. He probably only wrestled
Again,
PLEs
the
from
dates are
August
from
last year.
August.
From August.
Yeah,
So he wrestled that horrible match with Jey Uso at SummerSlam. God awful match. It was like a 45-minute main event.
Oh Jesus!
He
We're 14 months in.
wrestled who? Didn't he wrestle somebody at Crown Jewel or something?
Logan
I
Paul.
want to say
last year.
Yeah. Logan Paul, Pogan Law.
was that 23 or 22? I want to say that was
Ooh,
22.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Anyways, he definitely didn't have the greatest string of matches until we got
Right.
to the Manias.
Right.
And I suppose that's because once he got that title, he stopped defending it. He was kind of like we got now the Roman Reigns,
Yep.
where he was just kind of had the title but chilling, not defending it, not really getting his name out there, putting his work out there. So I suppose this list is probably 100% accurate. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but that was our feature match of the week. If you have a suggestion for us, go ahead and leave us a comment on YouTube, Spotify. Send us a tweet at Suplex Studies. You can hit us on the comment section of our Instagram as well, which is also at Suplex Studies.
At Suplex Studies.
And yeah, up next we're going to move on to some news. We'll be right back with ya.
Did we finish? Did we get the winner?
Yeah,
Yeah,
We
yeah.
got it.
got it.
We got the finish too, the BTE trigger.
Yeah,
Yes.
All right, bet.
Yeah, we got it.
Referenced.
Cigarette piss time,
Yep.
baby.
hit Isaiah, while I have you here, anything else you want to talk about that happened at these TNA shows you saw at Techport Center
Yeah.
or Boeing Center?
It was a crazy 2 days. Like I said, Victory Road, really good show. Definitely enjoyed even the Hardys match. I know people like to push this kind of like wash narrative on them.
Who did they wrestle?
They ended up wrestling the team of Casey Navarro and one AJ Francis.
Ah, yes, I think I saw AJ goozling Matt Hardy or something. So
Yeah, so AJ Francis, the former Top Dollar,
yeah,
right, Hit Row. He's a very talented guy. I don't think we really talk about his in-ring prowess as much, but his ability to work a crowd, his character work, his
Mhm.
presence, it's all there. And he was able to play off of the people's love for the Hardys.
nice.
Crowd was really hot for it. First match of the night. on the main
on
card.
The pape?
On the main card, they did a couple countdown matches with Kushida and one Leon Slater, young up and comer out of Texas.
I haven't heard of Slater yet.
He's on the up and up.
On the rise.
Yeah, they definitely had a good match, and then Jake Something and Hammerstone had a match against Eric Young and Steve Macklin. Steve Macklin, a former Forgotten Son in NXT.
Forgotten Son. That didn't have anything to do with Eric Young and NXT, right?
Nah, Eric Young had the Sanity group.
Right, Sanity. That's what it was.
Right. But yeah. Either way, really good shows. Even the night 2 tapings were pretty nuts. We had a great 6-man X Division match. Speedball, Mike Bailey, winning back the X Division title the night before from Zachary Wentz.
Shit.
So Zachary Wentz really just won it for the exposure.
Man, he had won the Ultimate X.
Yeah, he won the Ultimate X
something?
and then went on the No Mercy pay-per-view with the belt.
Right.
And dropped it right back. So
man, the X title is very flip-floppy these days, and it's totally fine. Like, put it on your hot guy, whatever, go for it kind of deal there.
Yeah, I think people were kind of just upset about it because I guess they were telling a long-term story with Mike Bailey, getting back to the X Division Championship.
Mm-hmm.
So that when he beat Mustafa Ali, who had it for quite a while, it was a big deal. So for him to drop it so soon after, it was kind of like a what the fuck thing. And then you see why they did it. It's like even more so like, all right.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were in a 6-man tag. Kushida, Leon Slater, Speedball, and then you had who was it? Zachary Wentz, and I'm blanking on the other names that were in it, but it was a really good showing. They had big ramifications for some Bound for Glory stuff going forward.
Bound for Glory should be coming up
October, I believe.
Yeah, very soon.
So
probably might have to catch that. I'm not a subscriber yet of TNA, but I know they just got rid of their dollar option on YouTube or whatever. I don't know if you're on tapped into that.
I'm not. I really just do the archive websites that just kind of have all the free stuff.
Yeah.
So
no, that's the way to do it.
But yeah, I mean, even Nick Nemeth had a pretty good match with Sami Callihan.
Defended the title?
No, it was just a non-title.
It's
for Impact.
Okay.
He beat Moose for the world title.
Oh yeah, Victory Road.
Victory Road. They had a pretty good match as well, like I said, and it was a good story that they were telling because I guess he ended up winning the title in a multi-man match, so he didn't necessarily pin Moose.
So he needed to solidify that here.
Yeah, Moose lost the title but didn't necessarily lose the match. So they needed to put a stamp on that, and I think they did in a big way.
I saw JBL come out and take out the system.
Yeah, that was he probably got one of the bigger pops of the night, honestly.
Oh shit.
Which is weird to say about one JBL, but got 2 crazy ass clotheslines on the system. I think he kind of fell over a little bit too.
Oh, fuck.
But it was cool. He's basically done the same thing he did at the last couple of shows. He's been popping up literally everywhere and just coming up and showing up and clotheslining a guy and leaving. So we'll see where this progresses as far as the TNA story with him. But
yeah, I don't know. I need to. I'm kind of just keeping up with TNA only through images and some social clips lately, and I do regret missing these shows this past weekend. But on Friday night, I was checking out Creed on the other side of town, so I would have really loved to go and see this pay-per-view. The energy looked great in there. I love the Boeing Center at Techport. It's great for concerts and now hopefully a great venue for wrestling going forward. I'd love to see AEW go here, sell it out, maybe even do what they did in Arlington last year or this past summer, some sort of residency at the Boeing Center. But I don't know. It'd probably stick to Arlington at their established place that they're gonna do that from here on out. But
would be a bad idea though.
Yeah, no, they should. If and when AEW comes back, dude. It really wouldn't be a bad idea to go there, but I don't know. I'd rather see that at this point than going back to the Frostbank Center,
Yeah, so. I think it's just a too big of a building for them to run at this point.
Brother, maybe a pay-per-view though. Gator just joining the fold.
What? Brother Steve, it's not Gator. Brother Steve came out from a little break. Welcome back, sir. A little brother from another mother. What's going on, Stan?
We're just wrapping up talk on TNA, getting Isaiah's thoughts here.
Oh hell yeah! I
On
bet
the
it was
weekend.
I bet it was a great ass show. I wish I could have been there, but I was too busy down there in Austin having myself a good old barbecue, having fun on 6th Street. Oh hell yeah!
Got you a voodoo donut,
You goddamn right I did.
shot of whiskey.
Fucking vegan donuts.
Oh God.
I don't subscribe to vegan donuts anymore. I'll
No.
just say that on the pod.
Yeah, fuck vegan donuts.
Dude.
Nah, there's some good ones.
Don't get me going on vegans, okay?
Yeah.
Don't get me going on vegans. We're just going to take a pause on the vegans.
No, yeah. Welcome back in here. Isaiah's, anything else you want to share about the TNA or?
Got some cool NXT appearances on this
Oh yeah,
as
that's
well.
right. That's right. You mentioned them earlier.
I did?
I think you did. Yeah. The women talent, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they ended up busting out Sol Ruka as well. I don't know if I mentioned her.
I don't think you mentioned Sol Ruka. That's cool that she made an appearance
Was
there.
that the one where the little Asian lady came out too, or not?
No.
What the hell is her name?
Zia Lee?
No.
Zia Lee also showed up at this show, the former Zia Lee.
Mina
No,
Shirakawa.
I'm talking about that little girl who dresses like a doll in NXT. You know what
Oh.
I'm
Talking
talking
about Wendy Chu.
There you go.
Yeah, Wendy Chu.
Yeah.
She wrestled Jordan Grace at Victory Road for the Knockouts title.
That's what it was that I saw. That's what it was.
No, it was all right. I'm just like, as soon as it's like Wendy Chu, I'm like, because they had a match with Jordan Grace and Sol Ruka on NXT, so that was more so the matchup I was looking forward to, and they kind of pivoted to the Wendy Chu stuff with Rosemary because she's kind of linked up with Rosemary right now.
Oh,
for
that
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense too, because they're both pretty creepy.
The Spookies?
Yeah, they're creepy.
So,
Halloween
but they
too.
kind of tied it up all together by bringing her back for the TNA tapings. So
Mm. Did
Sol Ruka, is that the chick that had that really athletic, like Will Ospreay Ricochet type
like
match?
an RKO, yeah. She does like
Yeah.
the springboard front flip into the cutter.
She does
She
that.
wears the Vans.
Yeah, she does that
She's like a
mid-rope springboard fucking. Yeah,
she's like a
you said.
surfer chick.
Dude,
That's
she's
like her gimmick.
Yeah.
She's really good though.
She's bad. She's a bad.
she athletic?
She's a bad motherfucker, man. She's a bit. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So Ruka, man.
So Ruka, man. I was watching some NXT. I was telling Eric last week, and I was listening to Booker T's commentary, and I think it's so funny how he repeats everything.
For
Have you ever realized
emphasis.
that?
For emphasis, man.
For emphasis, man. He just back and forth, dude, all the time, repeating all of his shit, dude. I find it hilarious, but at the same time, I do like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I'm not a fan
It's
of his
funny.
commentary. I like Booker T just fine otherwise, but
Seven
I
matches
kinda-
with
I kinda-
Benoit,
I
man.
kind of enjoy it. And he's like,
Yeah?
oh,
yeah.
man, oh baby.
Oh, man. I think Trick was coming out for his entrance, and he was like, what? Yeah.
Oh, he's doing like ad libs.
yes,
Yeah.
between like the
Trick's gonna be the referee, yeah, And I was like, what the fuck, dude? But Trick was the referee that day, so he was 100% right.
If you've seen the Black Snow clip from TNA where he's on commentary as Black Snow, like he'll put on this weird voice like, I'm Black Snow, I'm Black Snow.
I've never heard of that.
We gotta watch it after this. But
All
yeah,
right,
we have
shit.
we have a few things we need to watch after we're done here.
God damn. Speaking of theme music, there's word on the street that Def Rebel's contract will be expiring with WWE. Did y'all
Who?
hear about this?
Who?
Def Rebel, the people or group who make the WWE's music.
Oh, I did hear about that.
So-
Yes. What do you think, bro?
It's about fucking time.
It's about time, man.
Listen, I know they've made a couple bangers. They've made the LA Knight theme. They made the Jey Uso remix for Jey Uso.
Yeah.
They've made a couple cool tracks here and there, but a lot of the stuff is pretty generic.
It's not Jim Johnson level, that's for damn
No.
sure.
Yeah. And it looks like going forward they're going to be using more licensed music.
No way.
So
Forcible Entry Part 2?
What?
So the thing is, I don't know if you checked it out, Gator, but the SmackDown intro for the new SmackDown here,
What is it?
we got Megan Thee Stallion.
Gator, do you know who that is?
Song is called Never Play, featuring a gentleman from the Korean pop group BTS.
Ah.
Silence and crickets. just hit the mic.
Now listen, I'm not necessarily.
I'm good on Megan Thee Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Me the Stallion.
I'm good if you're tagging an animal's name on your last name. I'm fucking good.
Is she the one who had the Popeyes endorsement? Did she
This
have
is-
like a Popeye sandwich, or am I thinking of a different rapper?
And on top of that,
Oh, it's
I'm
hottie
actually being a
sauce.
hypocrite. This is coming from a guy named Gator, so it is what it is.
That's true. Yeah, no, I know. I've noticed a lot of people aren't a fan of this music selection.
Hell no.
A lot of people love their rock. They love their Godsmack. They love their
the dad rock.
their beautiful people, Marilyn Manson. They love their
Bro,
nostalgia.
Megan
Velvet
Thee
Underground or
Stallion.
whatever.
What demo does she even hit?
So to be fair, she hits a lot of demos.
Was she at 1834?
Yeah, I would say.
if we're
Yeah.
keeping it a
But
bean,
female?
I mean, yes.
And male.
I would
Female.
Look, listen. I know it's not everybody's thing. I'm not gonna go in the car when I get out of here and bump Megan Thee Stallion in the whip. But I'm not necessarily opposed to this compared to the generic music we've been getting the last handful of years.
Hold on, I gotta update my list real quick. My playlist. Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, there's a
Here,
song called
got it here.
is it Tina Snow? No, that's the album. She can rap for real. There's like a cipher.
I'm sure she's good at rapping, but I would have to do a whole lot of snow to be able to deal with that shit.
Nah, I hear you. Like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But again, I think it's a pretty refreshing, and I don't think it's gonna be forever.
I think you're right. It is refreshing. I think they're trying to take a cool, new, hip, version, new way of hitting the audience.
And to be fair, like hip hop has been pretty hand in hand with wrestling over these last few years. I mean, we have Wale Mania. You got West Side Gun doing a lot of stuff out here. We got it's just a lot of different demographics. We had Lil Uzi Vert at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. Lil Wayne. There's a lot of incorporation now with hip hop and wrestling in general. So I think that's just the direction we're moving. Hip hop's one of the more popular genres.
Oh, has been
Yeah.
for years.
They're trying to mix the genres right now to get themselves a little extra
Yeah.
pop
We
based
just
on
gotta
the music.
We're just gonna do a little less dad rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Totally fine.
coming from a guy who likes dad rock, ease off the fucking rap.
Yeah.
Well, I think it has. I need to hear this theme song for SmackDown. I haven't even heard it yet, so I can't even
It's
say.
pretty simplistic. Like it's nothing to write home about. Like I'll say, but like if they're going for a certain vibe, I think it works for them.
So it was a new original track then.
This track literally just released not too long ago.
Okay.
This was like less than a month ago. Probably.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Well, more power to them. Hopefully it's good, and I don't know. Sounds like there's mixed reviews on it so far. So
I'll keep an open mind. At the same time, it's going to be halfway closed. So it is what it is.
no, yeah, no worries on that. That's just your preference, bruv.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah.
next in our news section here, we have a little bit of a beef brewing over some podcasts. I don't know if y'all heard or not, but Kevin Nash and Logan Paul are having a little bit of a tiffy on the interwebs or through their podcasts,
Thought I heard a little
talking
something.
mad shit
Thought I
about
heard a
each
little
other.
something about that. Yeah. Elaborate.
In so many words here, Logan Paul apparently was talking out of turn and using the terms shoot and work wrong on his podcast.
What a
I think.
jackass.
He
Come
didn't
on.
know what it. He didn't know what it was.
What
He was
was
talking
what?
to Hogan. He was talking to Hogan. And
There you go.
Are you kidding me?
He's like, what's a shoot? What's a
He's
like-
talking to the best of the best and didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Apparently so,
That's
and
just what it is.
Kevin Nash didn't really take kindly to it and thought
Nor
and
would
was
I.
saying like, oh, Logan Paul isn't a boy. He's not one of the boys, rather.
Yeah.
And blah blah blah. Logan
Essentially-
Paul heard it. and,
Essentially,
yeah.
what he was saying was, how can this guy come in here, make this much money, work these little dates?
Yeah.
and not
and-
know the difference between a shoot and a work.
Yeah. My thing is, I find it a little rich coming from a guy that prided himself on making the most money and working so little dates and not really giving a fuck about the boys. I agree with his sentiment, don't get me wrong.
Sick burn. Nice.
But I just don't necessarily agree with the messenger
Yeah.
here.
yeah.
Kevin Nash has a lot to fucking apologize for as far as his role in WCW and how he facilitated a lot of shit. Yeah, it's just a little goofy to me.
We're taking this from a guy who had creative control.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, Logan Paul is only he's a handful of years into the business.
Very
he's
fresh.
He's not even in the locker room that often. Like, he is not super immersed in that culture yet. He's just there to do his job necessarily.
His dates.
He's got
limited
that.
dates.
He's got that Taker Lesnar schedule right now.
Oh, yeah.
basically.
And he's still like, and you can tell by some of his interviews, he really doesn't even know like the history of it. He doesn't study the history of wrestling.
But he's an attraction.
But he's an attraction.
Shane McMahon style.
Exactly. So I'm not necessarily mad at him. I think he's more so trolling when he's like, who the fuck is Kevin Nash? And maybe he's not. But at the same time, it's like, hey, this guy's getting paid and he's doing a great job doing it. So it's like, this is what Kevin Nash aspired to be. This is what Kevin Nash like. The reason why the business has changed so much is because of guaranteed contracts. And Kevin Nash,
which they brought in.
and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall really changed the business in that way. So to see it evolve into this,
Allied Nations.
he probably is a little salty.
Yeah, you know Allied Nations too,
What
right?
is- what is that?
That
What's
was
Allied
when
Nations?
if a wrestler came in and they were making more, if they signed them to more or equal to or more than Scott Hall or Kevin Nash,
Then
they
they would-
matched it and
they
went
would
up to
match
that
it.
offer too.
Holy shit.
So nobody was going to make more than Scott and Kev.
Oh, my God. That's a fucking wild
So
deal.
to sit there and talk shit about somebody who's
Talk
not
shit
keen to
about
the
me.
business, talk shit about me. To talk shit about, Logan, it just seems like a far cry.
So these are the exact words. Well, it's not the complete quote, but
And I quote verbatim.
Nash says, Paul is not one of the boys. He adds, fuck you. That's from the boys. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck how many people are following you. And then Logan Paul said, I got people messaging me. They're like, Kevin Nash is talking shit about you. I said, damn, who is Kevin Nash? I mean that. I'm unfamiliar with this guy, which I think is his problem. I'm not as versed in the WWE and wrestling as I should be, as my peers are, but then how am I so much better than all of them? This is total like heel Paul talking here.
Yeah, you can tell.
That's him leaning in.
Yeah, he says, I don't have to answer all these questions. I don't know how I can be the best in WWE, at least one of the best. I'm surely a top fiver, and I don't even do it full time. So, I don't know.
What do you think, Gator? Is Logan Paul top 5?
Oh,
WWE?
Fuck no.
Who's
He's tripping, dude.
As far as male wrestlers, who's your top 5?
Who would be your top 5 in
You're going to
WWE?
throw up Cody.
Yep.
Okay.
You're gonna throw up
yes.
Roman.
Right.
I mean, you could even throw a guy up in there like LA Knight who does way more work than his ass does.
All right.
Okay.
You can throw in, dude, literally anybody from the bloodline.
Brock Lesnar?
No, dude. Get that out of here. Get that.
Just kidding.
I digress. Get that out of
Who's
here.
You're thinking Solo Sikoa?
I'm thinking Solo.
Really?
Solo's
Top
been,
5?
dude, he's been up in the fucking mix forever now. Okay. Maybe not wrestling wise and
We're not
ability
gonna talk
wise, but
about
as far as
Randy,
Solo,
we're not going to talk like
Randy's up there.
Randy has been up there.
Gunta?
Yes. Gunta,
Gunter.
yes. So I mean, dude,
McIntyre?
think
Punk?
about that. Think about all the names that
Rollins?
we just spit off. And for him to say he's top 5 after the names that we just rambled off, he's not top 5.
Yeah.
I think it's
He's working.
I think he's working here, yeah. For sure.
Controversy creates cash.
Exactly, Eric Bischoff.
And you know what? I'm all for it. Like, I'm kind of down to hopefully hear and see this saga continue.
It's almost like arguing just for the sake of arguing. Who would do that?
Yeah, who would do that? I
Fuck,
don't know.
I have no
Not
idea.
too sure.
Huh? What? Who would do that?
But yeah, and then he says, fuck me, fuck you, Logan Paul says.
Fuck me? Fuck you?
Y'all can, he has a whole response. Y'all can check it out there if you're interested. But no, I thought this was kind of funny and just wanted to bring some light to it. And other than that, any final thoughts on those two guys?
Yeah.
And they're now
Final thought is on that is if you haven't seen the movie Booty Call,
never heard of it.
watch it.
Pretty
Fuck
good.
me? Fuck you.
Fuck me. Fuck you.
Anybody here seen it? Anybody?
I am not familiar.
Oh my God! It's one of Jamie Foxx's first movies.
I gotta check that out.
It is classic. brother.
Booty call?
Booty Call.
Gotcha.
Booty call.
You love a good booty call.
Check it out.
Never
It's
heard of
amazing.
it. I don't have too much here, but last thing I got here is our Grand Slam card is shaping up in AEW. It's going to be taking place on September 25th, next Wednesday, that is. So, yeah, a week from today, since we'll be dropping, this drops on Wednesday.
Wait, so we got another fucking PLE/pay-per-view coming up in a week again?
No,
No.
it's a big dynamite.
Big Dino.
Oh, thank God, because I'm overwhelmed with all these damn pay-per-views.
But I mean, yeah, Bad Blood is pretty imminent. It's probably
That next week?
10-5. So like, is that 3 weeks from now?
That's like the week after Grand Slam, pretty much.
Yeah,
So we
exactly
got
that.
three, 3.
And then we have Wrestle Dynasty not too long after that. So, yeah, the PLE and pay-per-view train never ends and is even, in more full swing than it ever has been. Now that AEW is doing monthlies.
Do me a favor, slow the fuck down. I can't subscribe to so much goddamn content right now. I'm trying to keep up with it, but fuck, I can't do it, son.
Well, Steve, I think you're going to have to do a little better on your viewing.
Christian, where the
Alright.
hell did you come from? I
Hey.
didn't even realize you came back down from the stratosphere last week.
I'm lurking in the shadows, all right?
You're lurking now.
I'm going to choose my spot.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I got some bars for you. You want some?
No, you can shove those bars right up your ass.
That's what I thought,
Steve.
you son of a bitch. I'm in a down 2 right now. I'm going to my room. Fuck you.
I'm staying sober these days, all right? I have to stay focused.
He's got a championship match coming up, so
I'm the next AEW World Champion.
are you the reigning, defending, next
Yeah,
AEW champion?
that's right. Isaiah, what do you think? When am I going to win this world title, huh? Is it here at Grand Slam? Do I take advantage?
You
Of
could.
the situation.
You could. You had the opportunity to do it after the guy got choked out with a plastic bag, and you just stood there.
Isaiah,
Oh,
let me ask
you
you.
think I
in the-
just stood there?
You just
Huh?
stood in the back.
Huh?
You just stood in the back, and while he
Is that
got
what you
dragged
saw?
out, didn't even have a stretcher. They couldn't even get a stretcher for him. They
You
just
couldn't
carried him
fucking
out.
help him, Dory. You couldn't poke a hole.
You
in
couldn't
the
just
bag?
pin him.
This is bullshit, guys.
Poke a hole.
Huh?
Thumb.
You saw what was in front of me. It was the stupid BCC.
You talking about
but,
the BBC?
But they choked. They choked him out. They left. You could have just went back out there and fucking.
This happened
Wait,
after,
wait,
guys.
wait.
All right? They
I'm
stood me up
confused.
before they turned on his ass.
Hold on,
I
Christian.
guess.
Hold
Your
on,
timeline's
Christian.
a little fucked up.
I'm
What?
confused.
What?
Did you win an anytime, anywhere Money in the Bank contract?
Yeah, that's basically how they're framing it.
Wait. So you're saying it's a Money in the Bank contract?
They're not.
It's not a
they're
Money in
not
the
calling
Bank,
it. They're just
all right?
calling
It
it.
doesn't
a
have a
contract.
silly, stupid
It's
name.
just a contract.
We talked about this on Side Suplex, if you remembered, Gator.
I know.
Okay.
I just wanted to get somebody else's opinion on it, Christian.
Money in the Bank is for children's shows,
Uh-huh.
all right?
So you're telling me you didn't go to Tony and tell him that you should probably cash this in anytime, anywhere?
That's none of your business, quite
Uh-huh.
frankly.
Okay,
all right?
so I couldn't have been a fly on the wall listening to your conversation
you
that day,
couldn't
could
be.
I? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, I just got my crystal ball here, and I fucking channeled
Oh, yeah?
my way in
Who are
to
you,
that.
the Oracle?
No,
Who do you think you are?
You're
I
damn
am.
right. I'm Gator the Oracle. You're damn right, Christian. I channeled in, and I saw what you told Tony.
All right, guys, fuck off. I don't have time for this. Bye.
You told him to make it a Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but Grand Slam, are y'all excited? We have Nigel throwing out the challenge to a possibly not competing Bryan Danielson.
Okay, here's what I'm confused about.
Yes, bring it.
Why in God's name did they say Danielson wasn't cleared to compete to defend the championship? But then Nigel is allowed to challenge him.
Yeah, it
What
came off a little
sense does this
confusing
make?
to a lot of people, but they explained it very briefly
So
during
give it to me
Nigel's
then.
promo.
Give it to me then. I don't get it.
So all it is on the asterisk is
If
that
he's cleared to compete.
if he's cleared.
So if he's cleared to compete, why doesn't he defend his fucking belt?
Because the challenge was already laid down from Moxley earlier in the show.
He could have
to
waited.
Challenge
He
for
could have waited.
Right, but he didn't. So Darby's dumbass took the challenge, took the bait from Moxley, if you will.
This is pre-planned.
In
Right.
in
Yeah, in
kayfabe,
kayfabe, yeah.
They could have just.
in kayfabe, Darby is not one to back down from a
Right.
challenge.
Moxley challenged him.
I hear you, and I trust.
Yeah.
I kind of had the same confusion that you did,
I did too.
and they kind of, and like you said, they definitely tightened up some loose ends on Collision, and at the same time, like they did the segment with Christopher Daniels and Nigel after this segment had already happened with Darby and Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
So in kayfabe, Darby is never gonna back down from a challenge.
Yeah.
He wants to prove that he is better than John Moxley because in their meetings in the past, he's never beaten
Yeah,
John
he's
Moxley.
lost.
John Moxley is telling you to your face, you will never be the AEW World Champion. And so in his mind, I can see him being like, fuck you,
Yeah,
I'm going to
fuck
beat you
you,
and be AEW World Champion.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we're all under the assumption that Bryan is Dunzo.
Right. That's kind of what they were trying to
Yeah.
go for.
I hear you.
Now, I know you say Darby never backs down from a challenge, but I have one that he backed down from.
Which one?
Mount Everest. Suck it, Darby.
I mean, he broke his foot.
He didn't break his fucking foot.
That was his,
he didn't break his fucking foot.
Jay
That was
White broke his
fake as
foot.
shit. That was fake as shit. He broke his foot, kayfabe, to get out of going up Mount Everest because he was afraid
Can
that
you
he was
blame
going to
him?
fucking die.
I don't blame him at all.
Neither do I, but you know what? At the same time, I would have never been such an idiot to go out there and
To
say,
claim
I'm
that?
going to climb Mount Everest. That's
Oh,
retarded.
Come on.
Who
Hey,
says that
he
shit?
wanted. He had a dream, an idea, and he.
Hey,
he
you
didn't
know
go
what?
through.
I have a dream too. I'm going to fucking sleep with Halle Berry. It's not going to happen, so I don't say it.
But going back to the Danielson fiasco here, I do think it was a little bit confusing in the beginning. They tied up the loose ends, and I think the match is gonna deliver.
Nigel and Danielson.
Absolutely.
My question is how do you tie up loose ends when your champion is legitimately cleared to defend his title at a pay-per-view?
No, he isn't yet.
But
Oh wait,
he-
no.
well, so
before
But
the fact.
he's gonna. He will.
listen, even if he is,
You don't say it
so,
unless it's gonna happen.
Again, this happened after the challenge was
After.
laid out.
20
right.
minutes. 20
Yes,
minutes.
but do you think Darby Allin's gonna go in there and be like, "Hey, what the fuck?" Da,
at
da,
the
da."
same time, though,
Yeah.
I think it's bad storytelling.
I think that they didn't have enough time
Straight
to.
up.
I don't think
Yeah.
they had enough time
It's
to
bad
stretch this
storytelling.
out. I think they did this in a very compact manner. If they had another week or two to really stretch out this story to whether you're doubting whether or not Danielson is cleared or not to compete, I think they could have done a lot with this. At the same time,
I think
the
it's-
window to have the Nigel McGuinness match is very short
It
Right.
is.
because of Danielson's whole situation with
And
his
that-
schedule.
and that has been
But-
built for over a year now.
Yeah, it has been built, but I come back to the same thing over and over and over again.
Which is
Your champion is clear.
So
on the paper.
Defend it.
No,
defend
he's not
it.
cleared yet.
the
Yet.
story
Right.
is
Yet.
if he is
He's not
cleared,
cleared
but when
yet.
he
Yeah.
again when
But-
he does get cleared,
But then why for storytelling? For storytelling, why would you have a man come out and challenge a man who's not cleared to a match that far ahead of the match when he could have come out literally 3 days beforehand to say we're having a match
Because
and
not-
him be cleared?
Nigel walked in and demanded
Yeah.
the match. We're not
It makes
saying
him
Tony.
look bad.
We're
Bad
not,
storytelling.
we're not, he is the heel. He is the heel
Yeah.
here, and he's going after a man who is obviously hurt,
Right.
a man who is obviously indisposed,
I get
and
it.
he's trying to get one up on him
I
for
get it.
once.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But I also just think it's bad storytelling. That's just
And
my
that-
opinion.
and that-
my
and-
opinion. I'm sure a lot of people have different opinions.
I think
in my
it's totally
opinion,
fine, dude.
if you're a champion and you're cleared to wrestle and you don't because of the stipulation that somebody challenged the number one contender 15 to 20 minutes before, the storytelling is fucking wonky to me.
And that's,
Wonky.
I mean, Darby's attention has now been diverted, and that's up to him, and that's his
Not
dumbass
to
fault for
mention
doing that
the-
in character,
the-
right?
Not to mention the building of the Moxley, this new offset of the BCC. I don't know if they're going to
Right.
be called the BCC going forward.
Probably not anymore.
But I mean,
I
they
don't
still
know.
could.
The SCC? The Shane Combat Club?
the
SCC?
MCC
I
McMahon.
feel like Darby is going to be important going forward
Mm-hmm.
with the storyline of Moxley's group. I think, well, if you ask me where we're going with this, because the line of "you will never be AEW World Champion" is very important. I think
Right.
I think Moxley beats Darby at
Okay,
Grand Slam,
takes his world title shot
and he wins the world title.
at
Wrestle
Tokyo
Dream.
Dome?
I think Darby wins.
No, I think Darby will end up winning it from Moxley
Yeah,
down the
later
road.
on.
Later, like
Yeah.
next year.
See,
next year.
Next year.
I like that idea.
All in Texas. Like, let's do it.
See,
Yeah.
my thing is I think Darby beats Danielson because Brian is on his I'm going to put talent over kind of gig right now. I'm on the afterburner right now. I'm leaving. I'm getting ready to leave. I'm going to give as many people the shine as I can. They've been talking about Darby getting a big push and winning that championship. I see no better way to do it. Push him against fucking Bryan Danielson, one of the greatest ever, and let Danielson put him over. That would solidify Darby as a badass.
So
right there.
my thing with that is you have to have an obstacle
Hmm.
for Darby to overcome. And Danielson
Moxley.
exactly, and that's going to be
Moxley.
so that's why I think Moxley
Yeah.
will end up beating Danielson And that way you have that mountain to climb,
Yeah,
whether you
extend
have
it.
all the guys in the BCC getting in his way.
See,
You have all,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think Tony Khan thinks differently.
It's going to
I
make
think-
it a much bigger moment, I feel like.
I think Tony Khan thinks differently, and he's more of the quick pop into which he beats Moxley first and then beats Danielson. I don't think it goes the other way.
When in
We'll
my
see,
opinion,
man.
I think when it comes to the mid card stuff and like the lower end of
Dare you call
the-
Darby lower end?
No,
and
no, no.
mid-card?
I'm not. I'm talking about like Tony Khan's mindset when it comes to how he books his creative. I think when it comes to your main storylines, he draws it out long term. And so, like when you got the Swerve Hangman stuff, this stuff has been going on for
Yeah.
the last year.
Tony Mariah,
when you
bro,
Tony Mariah, yeah, like
Danielson,
But the
McGinnis,
the
yeah.
Hangman one was because of injury. That's why he dragged it out.
No.
Well-
Hangman was out.
Well, yeah,
He had to drag it out,
He
but he
had
says
he
to
had
do it.
another child,
He
and
couldn't
he
do
and
anything.
he had another child, and he took his leave as he did, and it made for Swerve. It made that window for Swerve to get the title
Ascend, yeah.
to ascend. So whenever Hangman does come back, and he's a whole new person at this point,
Mhm. It worked really well.
it worked really well.
did.
It worked really well, and so because it all coincides with one another. You know
I
what I mean?
just feel like the build up and the draw out was more because I had to than because I wanted to.
What do you mean?
I had to because he had a kid. I had
Oh.
to because he had time off. I had to more than I wanted to
But
do this.
it played to the story's benefit, because if you burnt that out, during that time, you probably wouldn't have gotten these big moments that you got at All Out, All In.
Right. I think they were
So-
going for the same thing with MJF and
Adam Cole.
yeah,
And it
but
just-
they didn't
and
get it because of
that's-
injury,
but
so
that-
they have to drag
but that
it out.
that was totally different. That was like, because MJF also got hurt.
Dude, I guarantee they're still going to work Adam Cole and MJF. They're still dragging that one out.
I think they
possible.
And then we're going to say storyline. Was it storyline
Well,
or was
me-
Adam Cole just hurt?
Me personally, I think they tied up that loose end whenever MJF initially came back and confronted
kicked
Cole.
him in the balls.
And I think that's kind of how they just had to end it, because
Yeah.
Cole isn't in any time frame to come back right
Right.
now.
Right. But Adam Cole ain't letting it end that way, which goes to my point. It's not over.
Okay,
We're going to
so
keep driving it on.
which is
It's a storyline based on I had to rather than I wanted to.
But at the same time, like, you're just gonna,
I had to drag it out because he was hurt.
You have
But
to
what's
do it.
wrong with
wanted to
that?
drag it out
What
because
is
he
wrong with
wasn't.
that? I don't understand the hang up with that.
It's
It gives you an opportunity
you know
to
what?
continue your
to
stories
take
later
a
on.
word from your friend, forced.
I don't see it. I don't see how
So
having
the-
And
do
I
they
get, I
just-
get that.
storyline,
I'm just from a totally
picking up later
bipartisan
on.
fucking point of view, looking at it, going, I don't like it, and that's the common viewer. I'm the common man. You guys are hardcore. I'm common.
I don't.
Well-
mean, either that or I don't really see you as a common wrestling casual viewer. I think you're very more ingrained than you would think you are.
No, I'm not.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not.
Well, you know what? Yeah. I don't know.
No, trust me. I would love to give myself more credit, but I'm not. I'm not stupid. I'm not giving myself that much credit.
Oh, I mean, do what you need to do, bruv.
I don't know, dude. I think Darby takes it from Danielson. I
When?
don't.
Wrestle Dream, maybe? Is that what you're thinking? Washington? They're both from Washington?
I mean, that's very soon. Do you think this Danielson?
I think
Reign is
you
this-
were saying Danielson's done by March.
I think he's going till March, but it could end at any point.
We're
right?
in
So,
month number 9, so he's got what 5 maybe months left.
I don't know, man.
They
I
could-
don't know
they-
if
they
it goes that long.
they could-
Now,
exactly.
y'all might
That's what
have
I'm-
kind of swayed me that
that's
he
what I'm
might
saying.
actually end up leaving sometime this year.
I
It
never
might-
really
it might
thought
be
he
this
was
year.
gonna. I never really thought he was gonna have a super long run at it.
No, that's
I
what
could
I'm saying.
really see it ending at Wrestle Kingdom
And with the push
The
that I've
Dynasty.
heard that they're trying to give Darby,
in January.
it only makes sense. Have him beat one of the biggest stars in pro wrestling history.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it really comes down to that. Who is going to end Danielson's career? And
Yeah.
you have Darby's name in the hat here, Moxley.
Like, why would Danielson put Moxley over when he's already established?
Because they're trying to establish a new heel. Because Moxley hasn't really
But-
had a top heel run.
But Darby
I
can.
don't
But
think
Darby
he
can be
has.
established by beating Danielson without having to beat Moxley.
And Darby can also be established by beating a man he's never beaten before.
Right. And, let this cook even longer.
Or he can beat Danielson and defend it against Moxley and beat him and establish himself.
I think
Could go that way.
I think in the story that
I don't know.
I think the story that they're laying out here, I do feel like it's going to be Moxley beating Danielson and Darby
Yeah.
getting it from him eventually.
Yeah.
I do think,
Okay.
and I think that there's enough people in the BCC to get in his way that you can prolong that and stretch it out, and the money's in the chase.
And
It
see,
is.
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
As
I
always,
get that.
yeah.
I'm on the opposite end. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm on the side where I think Darby's going to beat Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
And if BCC wants to step in, guess who just came back? Sting. Have fun with that bat.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing them interact a little bit. Sting going up against the BCC
That's definitely got to be a one-off, like
Yeah.
like I can
pay-per-view appearance.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sting's on the Taker schedule right now. But at the same time, you cannot tell me human beings do not love money. And if they throw a bag of money at Sting, he's going to show up at whatever show fucking Tony Khan tells him to show up at.
I just think they need to be careful with the amount of appearances that he makes
Yeah.
because of the retirement. So I just because you don't want people to be like, oh, well, I thought he was retired. Why is he, just showing like, you know what I mean? I get what you're saying because
I mean,
he is an attraction.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
But
thing that,
until he wrestles,
He's not
it's
gonna
a
wrestle
problem.
again.
It's not
Yeah.
a problem until he wrestles.
Yeah.
If he doesn't wrestle, it's not a
you
problem.
just don't want to
Yeah.
spam the Sting running. Too
Right.
much. That's my
The
only
Sting
thing.
running,
Because it's got to
don't
be
wanna spam it.
special.
It
That's
has
why.
to.
That's why we do it in the championship match.
That's why
when
we
the
do it
BC
at
when
Wembley
anybody
Stadium.
comes out, anybody comes out.
Right.
Sting's there, right there to help Darby win all the time.
Yeah, man, this story is really gonna. It could go in a few different routes, and I'm very excited to see because I'm all for this.
Even
I
Mariah
want to see Nigel and Danielson.
Mariah and Mina we're getting to eventually,
Yeah, man.
Yes, I think that's actually definitely in the works now.
You think they're
and-
gonna fight?
Oh yeah.
Well, she's calling for her to join her on this celebration, and I do feel like we're gonna get some.
There's
We're gonna
be
get some
heat.
fireworks, yeah. Because
between the two.
Mina necessarily didn't align herself with Mariah.
No.
She kind of was more in the middle.
But she didn't
Yeah.
align herself with Tony either. She
But
was kind of.
But in Mariah's head, she's been with Mina longer. Like she's gonna feel some type of way about her not even just like making like her. The fact that it's a choice for her is a spit in the face to Mariah. Like
Right.
that's kind of how they're gonna play it.
And I can't lie. I would love to see some more HLA in there. Yeah.
That might be behind
I need to
us.
get you
I
that
need
shirt.
to-
There is a vintage HLA shirt.
Yeah.
No.
3-minute warning.
Yeah, there is a vintage HLA WWE shirt. we got to get you one of those.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude! I would totally sport that at work, and people would be asking me like, "Hey, what is that?" I'd be like, "Hey, 4 hours of overtime or something." I'd just be trying to spin it to overtime or something. Don't worry about it, boss.
But yeah, guys, any other news y'all want to chat it up about? That kind of wraps up all I had. Did y'all come across anything noteworthy?
Shit. Let me look for something right here. In other news right now, in our fantasy football league,
Yeah.
I'm actually winning. 118, 116.
Ooh, good luck with that, man.
That
Not
ain't gonna
looking so hot.
That's not gonna happen right there. I lost.
Yeah, I probably lost against Hammer
Yeah,
too.
you still got tomorrow.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
that's the big problem.
That's
yeah,
a big problem for us right now. Like you
Yeah.
said earlier in the
We're-
show,
Yeah.
before we started recording, Eric and I were going through every single emotion, and right now I'm about to go upstairs after this recording. I'm gonna go ahead and hit good old depression.
You gotta cry.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna channel my inner Elmo, and I'm going to visit him in the afterlife, smoke a bowl with him, do a couple of edibles, and then I'm going to reevaluate my situation in life in fantasy football.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Isaiah, any parting words you want to leave with the Suplex supporters here?
Hey, man, it was good as always to come in here and chop it up with you good old chaps. Some good banter.
Hell yeah,
some
man.
good back and forth. Great match.
Yes.
It's always good to watch some New Japan with some fellow New Japan fans because not a lot of people out here watching New Japan stuff. So
Not quite.
yeah,
This
so
is a good one, man.
Yeah. I'm getting into it now thanks to brother Isaiah over here. I've never been into it over the past, month and a half.
Got a couple
I've,
New Japans under your belt there.
definitely been watching a lot of New Japan. I've been impressed. They never fail. They
Mm.
always deliver. And I'm very excited for the future in seeing more of these matches.
Hell
and,
yeah, man.
I gotta say, I know we were kind of discussing some spooky stuff.
Yes.
I would love to come back and watch that with you guys.
You want to do that one?
Yeah.
What was it
Which one
called?
were we talking about? We're talking about the
WCW Chamber of Horrors from Halloween Havoc 91.
Let's book it for next month. We'll just do our monthly.
What was that? The Steiners?
No.
Steiners.
Oh,
Steiners?
So Steiners, El Gigante, and Sting. Versus Abdullah the Butcher, Cactus Jack, and Vader, and someone else. I'm blanking on the last person.
We'll figure it out for you on Christian Corrections next week.
Yeah, we'll bring that to you, dude. We'd love to have you back in for that one. We're
Hell
gonna
yeah,
get all
dude.
spooky next month. Maybe you do
October.
Halloween themed matches. But besides that, up next week we are gonna be covering not one but two matches from SummerSlam 2005.
What?
Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan.
What?
Versus not versus. The other match we're watching is Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio
What?
for the custody of Dom ladder match.
On a pole.
Yeah, Dom on a pole match. And we'll be joined by Greg and Hammer. So we will have them in very soon. But besides that, you can follow Suplex Studies at Suplex Studies on Instagram and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like, follow, 5-star review, whatever you want to do on your podcast platform of choice. You can follow me at Kreutz.Wrath on Instagram, Kreutz Customs. Isaiah, where can they find you out there?
That is at Wrasslin Junts, WRASSLINJUNTS, Wrasslin Junts, as well as at Lil Kayfabe if you want to follow the personal here. Always cranking out some weird stuff. Pause. But yeah, y'all can follow me on the Instagrams at Lil Kayfabe, also on X.
Hell yeah, y'all. Go ahead and give Isaiah a follow there.
Is that X the Twitter now?
That's right.
My goodness,
Exter,
they've
yeah.
renamed it, haven't they?
Zwitter.
Ooh. Yes, and like these two gentlemen were saying, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, Suplex Studies, Instagram, X, YouTube, and anywhere you find your streaming podcasts. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review if you like what you hear. And don't forget, motherfuckers, when you're Suplex Studies, you are Suplex Studies for life.
Yeah.